challenge right in front of people.
Ah, fuck it.
Hey,
How about it? We're
it's
just here just
advertisement.
chatting. Yeah, get out.
Yeah,
Just chatting. We're just
just
chatting
chirping.
over here.
Oh my
Hey.
gosh.
Oh my gosh. My grandson's a warlock.
Um, well, if we're just chitting,
Chatting.
well,
Shooting shit.
fuck. Um, I don't know how to exactly start. Hi, hello everyone.
We should
I'm.
introduce.
Oh yeah, I mean that's probably not the worst idea. I mean that right there is Firestone. I'm Chaos Fear. You can also call me George. I don't really care either way. And then obviously Steven. We are doing a session 0
What's up, baby?
for our Dragonarder
Don't dox
campaign.
him.
Oh shit, sorry, my bad, Sev.
Dawson.
I just need to start calling you that all the time because otherwise, like the confusion, it's just too much. Um, yeah, we're here to go over rules. We're here to talk about our characters. I personally am incredibly excited. We have two forever DMs here that are about to play as players, which means either this is going to go really well or really terribly. And either way, it will be enjoyable to watch.
It'll be so fun to watch no matter what.
Exactly.
You were telling us that you have a very awesome wizard.
I
I'm playing
do.
a fighter.
Yeah. I would say that I don't think either one of us is playing what we would consider an archetypal fighter or wizard. I think I can't speak too much to Firestone's character because I haven't heard too much about him, but I know that my character, whose name is Salvador Nabiri, is an artistic wizard. He casts magic through his creative juices and paintbrush and palette. And he is not the best artist. Um, he's learning. He's learning. You know, he's young. But he sees potential himself. He really thinks he's already a great artist. And one of his dreams is to eventually open up a gallery or a museum where he can like store great works of art of his or other great creators. He's a little quirky. He's 3'2" gnome. Very very excited, very naive. He talks a little bit. He's a little high pitched and to meet
Oh,
people, but he's really excited.
your
Yeah,
mic
it's hard
couldn't
to hear
pick
you when
that
you
up,
say that
buddy.
like
Oh,
that.
seriously, it's too high. All right.
Yeah, it's a little too high for the mic.
Yes, can you hear this now?
No.
No, all right. I might just have to bring him lower.
You might have
I'll figure it
to.
out.
Yeah, you might have to change that voice up or get a
Ah,
better
God,
mic.
I like
One of
this
the
voice
two.
so much. Paying for a mic, that's not happening. All right, well, I'll figure out the voice later. That's secondary concern.
Yeah,
Um,
character development is way more important.
exactly,
I don't know,
exactly.
man. I don't know. I think it's first for me.
Well, this is a session 0. I don't have to role play yet too much, so I'm gonna be okay with it. Um, but yeah, no, he's so the continent we're playing in, which doesn't have a name yet, but is still fantastic. He's basically from the Middle Continent, which is a lot of artists, traders, artisans, that type of thing. Both of his parents are well. His father is a career professor. He's knowledgeable, focused on history and discovery of the world, but very bookish, very very scholarly and studily. And so he doesn't really explore the world. He doesn't actually experience it firsthand, but rather reads it through tomes and scrolls. And his mother is a sculptor, but again, like kind of just shuts herself away in her studio. And while she has like encouraged him to explore his creative interests, she doesn't really go out into the world and like see the beauty. The only person that like Salvador is really connected to is his grandfather Paulo, who is like this old, somewhat senile man who used to be a mage, still contains his magical abilities, but is no longer in practice. And who will tell Salvador these grandiose stories of like past adventures or like tales of like mythology that really interest Salvador and like give him all of these like great imaginations and scenes that he wants to like create. And so to help Salvador with like his art, Paulo started teaching him magic and basically started to like combine Paul or Salvador's brush with his magical talents. And so now he, instead of just like painting a normal picture, what he does is he will inscribe something into his sketch pad or into a canvas, and then it will in essence come alive, or it will possibly like create something out of itself. So he is very focused on basically turning his art into reality, be it a little bit crude sometimes.
That's awesome. Um,
We've got,
my
hold on real quick. We've got my
yeah,
boy Johnny in here. Johnny, thank you so much for
woo,
joining us.
Howdy, howdy.
And Dracula's Boo. That's Firestone's Boo, actually.
woo, woo.
Thank you for
Oh,
joining us. Ooh, Next Door Mullet, my man. So everyone knows, we're just basically the groundwork. Dragon Rider theme. They're wingy. Appreciate you. It's gonna be a Dragon Rider camp. Actually, one of our players is missing right now, so kind of don't get to make a lot of the decisions right now, and we'll just have to talk to them later on the side. But right now, we're going over our two lovely players' characters, and we're gonna be jumping into kind of the comfortability levels and tone and setting of the campaign. I apologize for Firestone. Have at it, brother.
You're good. Um, my character is named Tyrell Booksworth, but he goes by Ty. Um, I'm a fighter from the south, I believe. In a small trading town. About 50, 60 people live in a tight knit community. My ma and pa are general store owners. They use me to move cargo, things like that. I'm about 6 feet tall, big, broad shoulders. I've got fair skin, but the stuff that does see the sun is it's pretty tanned. I have to say I got a farmer's tan. It's not the prettiest thing you ever seen in your life.
yeah.
I've got shaggy brownish blonde hair that goes down to my shoulders. I usually keep it up in a man bun. Um, my pa's a very smart feller. He runs the general store, like I said. He keeps all the book counting and gets to count all the way up to like 100 or something crazy like that. Um, other than that, my mom, she's a sweet lady. We own one of the things we own is they sell water there in the desert, and so my mom has a pretty good sniffer. She sniffs out the water like a bloodhound. Um, I I have read
One more
so
time. One more
many.
time. She's got a good what?
She got a good sniffer.
Yeah.
Got a big old snoot.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. She. I I've been reading stories and or hearing stories about
Wait. You're literate?
no. I can read.
Okay.
I'm not illiterate. Might have a little trouble, more
Okay.
trouble than others. I'm a slower learner, as they
Bigger
would
words.
say.
Bigger words are
No,
Bigger
that's
harder.
words are harder.
respectable. Okay.
Especially with like silent letters. I don't really understand those words. But I've been hearing a lot about heroes and from stories, and I've always wanted to have lots of honor. Honor? Is that how you say? I don't know. Either way, um, I am. I always heard about knights, and I reckon I want to be a knight someday. So I go to school right now at the only schoolhouse in town, and sometimes the smarter kids make fun of me. There's this real piece of work there. His name is Selvitz. He wears big old thick glasses, and him and his gang make fun of me a lot. But that's okay. I know that they just need loving at home, really, to get those feelings out. Um,
They don't get
I'm
hugged enough.
yeah, they don't get hugged enough. You gotta give some hugs, you know. Um, I got a real close relationship with the protector and tradesman of my town. His name's Rook. He's a giant. Um, and he tells me a lot of the stories. Lets me read his big books. And he's taught me a little bit of sword fighting. He gives me a long sword, which I think he uses a toothpick. But he gives me a long sword, and I go to town. I learn a little bit here and there. I watch him fight off bandits every now and then when they attack, or whatever crawls out of the desert. Um, but he's a real nice guy, and we hang out probably too much. Um, starting to get a little bigger, I think, from the hanging outs, which I get made fun of more for, but whatever. Someday, oh, let me tell you, someday I'm gonna get out of this town. I'm gonna become a guard, maybe somewhere, go into squire, maybe learn how to be a knight someday. That's the plan. I like the shiny armor. I think it'd look good on me.
That is.
Yeah, my friends call me Ty, so it's nice to meet
What's your full name?
you. My full name is Tyrellial Booksworth. My dad's Jacob Booksworth, and my is Mars Booksworth. They own the Oasis, which is like their little slice of heaven. Their store.
All right. Your chaos.
Yes, sir.
Give us a rundown on your.
Oh, I'll do
Keep
it. I'll do
doing
it
it.
quickly again. Sure.
Yeah, well, I think we had a few people join,
No, totally fine. Totally fine.
and then
Tell us
we'll
more.
jump into.
That sounds totally good. So I am playing a creative art wizard, we'll say. His name is Salvador Nabir. He apparently the voice I wanted to do with him, my mic couldn't pick up, so I'm revamping his voice, and I'll get back to you on that. It's gonna be something a little bit like this. I don't know. He's anxious. He's an anxious man or boy or man boy. I don't really know what to say, but he's really anxious. Yeah, I think this is the voice I'm going to go with. He's a gnome. He's a 3'2" gnome. He is an artist, and he is going to be the greatest creator of all time through his magical script. Um, he's still working on it. He's not really the best at fine details yet. He needs a little bit of practice. That's okay. That's okay. He's from the nation of Imandir. It's the middle kingdom of this world. His mother is Maria de la Santísima Nabiri. Just so you are aware, Salvador Nabiri's name or full name is Salvador Francisco de Palo Juan Maria de los Remedios Cipriano de la Santísima Trinidad Ruiz y Nabiri. But you can just call him Salvador for short. He doesn't really have a problem with that. He's just yeah, he just likes being called Salvador Nabiri. Really, whatever suits your fancy. He is incredibly craving of knowledge, and he wants to learn about people. He doesn't really do the best with connecting. He has a little bit of struggle with that. He's a little scared of people sometimes, but he wants to understand your customs and your culture and why you act the way you act. He's kind of only used to like his gnomish community, and he interacts with different people. He has seen humans before. He's talked to elves. He goes to school with some of these different people, but he doesn't understand why they are the way they are, and he wants to learn about that, and he wants to like make sure people can understand each other. He's just excited about it, and he really wants to like create art and like show beauty to the world, which is such a great thing. And his mother Maria is a sculptor, although she kind of hides a little bit in the room. In her sculpting room, she definitely inspired him to be like creative, but she doesn't really go out and see the natural beauty as he thinks she should. And his father is Francisco de Nabiri. It's a little bit of shorter name, and he's a professor actually. He's a professor on the history of the world basically, and he's very scholarly. He's very bookish. He knows a lot, but he doesn't. Again, he kind of just starts himself in his study. Maybe he teaches a lecture every once in a while, but that's about it. He is, his father and his mother don't really get along. They're happy. They're comfortable. They live. His mother's family is kind of nearby, and his grandfather lives with them. Paolo de Nabiri, and he's Salvador's like one true friend. Paolo is a little bit of an older, senile-ish man. He can't really see so well, but he's incredibly supportive of Salvador, and he really makes Salvador feel heard and seen for the first time. He's the one that's actually been teaching Salvador magic and been able to like apply it through it. Paulo actually used to be an older mage for Selendor, which is this northern kingdom up here that we might go to eventually, which I would be really interested to see where some of my family's from. That would be fantastic. But there's a lot of things that he doesn't really understand. And his grandfather's like able to tell him stories and educate him, and he's excited. He's really excited. He's not the most confident mage yet. He's still figuring out. But he looks forward to bringing color to the world.
Beautiful. All right, excellent, guys. Why don't I'll give you a little breakdown on kind of the world and the tone we're gonna go for. This is going to be in my homebrew world of Elta'Grad. This is going to be in the second Elta'Grad. Basically, the keynotes that delineate second age from the other two ages are prosperity. This is an era that has mostly seen nothing but wealth and happiness for the people. Most of the peasants are pretty well read and have an opportunity to educate. First age, tyrants, incredibly powerful draconic beings that could completely devastate cities, massive, world-changing kind of creatures. They kind of ruled over the planet, and they did battle with the Titans. Titans were a type of creature, more humanoid than monstrous. They spawned the giants, called the Anak, the dragons. Dragons. Those are their children. They made pacts with humanoid races, elves, men, orcs, those types, and they managed to kill tyrants and Titans. And that was the end of the first age. After that, it devolved into bloody warfare for a few centuries. And during that time, humans went to dragons and hey, let's make a pact so that we can come out on top. Once that happened, kind of the driving force for all the races to come together. Once the races all came together and started making pacts with dragons, the giants were like, "Hey, we need to get in on this. We're going to be completely wiped out." So the Anak came, pacts with humans, elves, goblins, and dwarves, and all those guys, and thus started an age of untold prosperity. Everyone was working together to build three kingdoms, kind of emerging out of this. Selendir to the north, which is a trademark or a hallmark of philosophy, intelligence, magic, and just higher education. Then you had Enmundir, which is, I'm sorry,
Hey, Sev, it looks like some of the people on the stream are having difficulty hearing you.
hearing me again. Oops. How is that? Better? Better. Hello, hello. Testing. Hey, let's bring it down real low for y'all tonight. We're coming in on a Friday night with Sev Firestone and Chaos Feared, and we just want to make everyone feel all right. All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate you. So, Selendir was this kingdom of. It's echoey. No. Probably because our boy Firestone's in here too, and I think his mic is probably picking me up a little. Firestone.
Yeah. Oh.
That'll probably help. All right. So Selendir was this kingdom of prosperity, of wealth, of beautiful architecture, of knowledge, and philosophy and higher learning. Then you had Enmundir, which is the powerhouse of trade. This is where your craftsmen are. This is where your mercantile class is most powerful. They are the driving force for trade between Selendir themselves and Shadhavar. Shadhavar is the southern kingdom, and Shadhavar is a place of warriors. Shadhavar breeds some of the finest combatants in the land. It is a harsh land. It's where our friend Firestone's character is going to be coming from. And it's, think kind of Arabian, Egyptian, African fusion as far as cultural iconography goes. From all of this, the pacts that were made, you have now created the Draven, which are basically, for lack of a better term, the Dragon Riders. And then you also have the Anakim, which are the ones who made a pact with the giants. Our lovely protagonists are going to be playing as dragon riders. We'll have to see how that comes about. And once again, this is an era of peace and prosperity, at least while we're starting. But dark machinations have been leaking out, and whispers of plots and intrigue to incite war have been spreading through the lands, uh, along with a few dangerous blood mages that have arisen and been promptly wiped out. But where did they learn this forbidden magic? Who's been teaching these people? There are spider webs and roots that run deep. Um, the tone we're kind of going for is going to be, a high fantasy hero adventure, lighthearted fun with, a punctuation of some dark and intense moments. Um, I think that's about everything as far as setting and tone go. Either of you want to chime in on that?
I don't have a lot to add. No, I'm good.
Excite.
All right. Well, going from setting and tone, let's get into our meat and potatoes of a session 0, guys.
Oh yeah.
I'm really sad that Glow Paint didn't make it because these are important things to go over with him, but I guess I'll just have to do that uh off stream. So, as we have kind of put forth in the last few streams that we've done, our How to DM a Session 0 series, and luckily I have two of the fine gentlemen who are there with me. We are going to go over the things that we expect from this campaign. We are going to go over our comfortability zones, what topics are taboo, what topics we're okay with. We are going to go over some basic rules that we want to have in homebrew and otherwise. Yeah, let's get started. Let's start real, just nitty gritty. What do you guys expect from this campaign? What do you want to get out of this?
Yeah, I obviously want to have fun. D&D's all about that. Um, one interesting story, something that I can run with and really dig into. Other than that, um, we're putting on a show, so let's make it entertaining.
Absolutely, I love it. Chaos.
As Firestone said, fun. I think it's important to possibly contextualize that Firestone and I normally are DMs, so we don't get to play players a lot. So I don't really care too much about what we do. I just want to do stuff. I am just excited to role play. I'm excited to play around. I am excited to like mess around this world and have a good time. I think a big thing for me actually is like consequence through action. That's something I really care about in a world. Like I don't want to just be able to do anything and then like the world doesn't respond to it. Like I don't know if I like okay, if I trip over something, I don't necessarily want like a place to fall apart. But like, if I'm
Concussion.
insulting like a major character, I want there to be consequences for that. Yeah, that's all I care about. I'm really just excited to have fun. I've been looking forward to this all week, so I'm just excited.
All right, I got some easy customers to please here.
Yeah.
If you've ever played in one of my campaigns, you know that consequences are the real. Definitely try to keep it as in line with what would actually happen to someone doing something like that as I can. So I don't think you'll be disappointed. I am excited to put on a show, and I'm excited to tell a really great story. That's my biggest thing, man. I want to tell a intriguing and enthralling story. I want you guys to get some emotional connection. I want you guys to have some amazing moments. I want to surprise you. I want to delight you. I want to potentially infuriate you a time or two. Um, all along the way, in the name of a good time. Um, what do I expect from my players? This is a total low blow, but show up, please.
Yeah, I can
Not a low blow.
guarantee that if I'm not able to show up, I will let you know as soon as I find out.
Boop, thank you so much for
Yeah,
hosting.
let's talk about that. Let's talk about if somebody can't show up, what happens? What do we do?
Yeah, that's actually good because sometimes scheduling thing happens. Sometimes responsibilities are a thing. Do we not stream? Do we stall? Yeah. What's the dealio with that? That's a good
If
question.
someone does not show up, I will not play the campaign. I will probably run a one shot. We can stream it. We can throw some stuff together. We can go grab a bunch of players out of my server and see who wants to come play, and I will DM a one shot. I pick 3 players, and each of you is going to be integral to this story. The only way I could see that working is if like we had ahead of time knowledge, and you're like, "Hey, I'm not going to be there next week," and we can story wise work them into doing something else off screen. That's really the only way I'm okay with that, because it is a collaborative event. It requires all my mind, unless measures were taken ahead of time.
How much time is important to you? How much time ahead should somebody let you know?
Ideally, I would like a week if we're going to continue playing the campaign and you're going to be out. Yeah, someone didn't show tonight. The drama. That's right.
We talking shit?
I don't. Okay, I don't think it's shit. I think it's just disappointment because I don't know. It was cool. It was gonna be cool to like have all 3 players
Yeah,
back to
I'm
back.
not
All right,
I'm not
that's
talking smack. I am a
yeah,
little bit bummed out, and hopefully you know, I understand people have lives. I understand that stuff
yeah.
happens. I'd love a little forewarning, you know. It doesn't we
I
don't
mean,
really need to get into that too much right now,
yeah,
aside from the fact that yeah, if you know you're not going to be there, let's talk about it about a week ahead of time if we can, so that we could potentially work you into doing something else during the stream.
yeah.
That's my
Well,
ideal situation. If you are not able to show up and we get later notice and we can still work it into the story, sure, we will. We absolutely will. Aside from that, yeah, I think I'd probably just stream a one shot and snag a bunch of players out of the campaign, or I mean, out of my Discord server.
think,
Heads up, join the Discord server, be a player there, and come play some one shots with us.
Ooh, incentive.
hell yeah. Um, yeah. I think I mean, again, we're all DMs here. I think we're all just like, if you tell me, just tell me, just fucking tell me.
Communication in a cooperative game is key.
Oh my god, it's so key.
Absolutely. And
Um,
honestly, it could have been something as innocent. You know, he's 3 hours ahead of us. It could be something as
like,
innocent
yeah,
as my dude fell asleep. I don't wanna, you know, throw any wrenches at him. It's a little bit of a bummer, but hey, we're gonna move forward and see where it all
yeah.
goes, you know.
I have a question regarding scheduling. Time wise, are we always going to be starting at about like 9 o'clock ish? And then how long do you think this campaign's going to go for?
So I would like to start ideally 8:30 to 8:45, just chatting, and we'll kick off the campaign at 9, and we will run it for about 3 hours. Um, Max. We'll go to midnight. 3 hours, I feel like it's a decent time to put on a show. Also, my computer is a laptop that, you know, after 3 hours, I gotta chill it out a little bit.
Grab ice packs.
I have literally grabbed ice packs to throw onto my laptop before to keep it chill.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Princess and Boop. It is a wonderful place. We're building a really nice community in my Discord with some awesome peeps. Please come have fun with us. And when you said how long is it gonna run, you mean like how long is this
Oh,
campaign gonna be?
no, I just meant time, like from what time to what time. No, no, I hope this campaign runs forever, dear.
Yeah, let's be real. George never wants it to stop.
Oh God, no, 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 no. I don't. Again, I have not played as a player in years. I just
Yeah,
this is a
absolutely.
euphoric moment for me.
Absolutely. I'm really
George and I are
excited.
just gonna.
Sorry, go
Sorry.
ahead, my brother.
I was just gonna say George and I are gonna hunt out any side quests possible.
Oh
Like
yeah.
we'll
Oh
get
yeah.
to where
No.
we know the ending is gonna happen. We'll be like, so what about this thing? You
Yeah.
said there was a thingy maybe over here. Let's go look at
Well,
that.
I'm gonna be taking meticulous notes, and like when it's like, oh yeah, the big bad guy's over here. I'm like, yeah, no, there's this small town over here that like might have a tournament infestation. We should go deal with that. Like that
He
that
said some
there is
people were going
pressing.
missing over here. Ooh.
Luckily for you guys, I'm obsessive about that kind of stuff. So there will be a plethora of things to do in this world. You know, unless you all die, completely possible.
It's a
Um,
possibility.
But sad and
I
dragons.
yeah, the dragon pact, you guys are gonna have a life link. If your dragon dies, you die. If you die, your dragon dies. So Stakes are up there. Um, I ideally would like this campaign to run 6, 9 a year, 6 months, 9 months a year. Ideally, it could go longer, it could go shorter. As a DM, be flexible. You never know what's gonna happen.
And then timing wise, every week on Friday, are we ever gonna like have a scheduled week off? What do you think?
So, I think for right now, we're probably gonna go 3 on, 1 off. My boy Firestone here is planning on running a campy Arthurian adventure is campy the right word? Am I using?
Yeah, it's a little campy. I would say parody or high fantasy with comedic elements.
Berry boy, that's our boy right there, Chaos. Berry boy, that's Iago.
Yo yo.
Um, so yeah, he's going to start running that. I'm going to be a player in that. He's going to stream it. Exciting stuff. That's 1 to 3 months out. So not 100% sure when the schedule will change, but once he starts running that, we'll be going to every other week. And it's all play by ear. I will have the schedule posted and updated in my Twitch scheduling. This is going to be my first serious Twitch campaign. I am going to become very dedicated to this. I am going to put a lot of effort into it. And that's why I'm very excited to have the two of you along, DMs that understand what that means and will honor it.
If I'm near death's door, I will make time.
I appreciate that. If you're near death's door, we'll come to the hospital and play there. Shit.
That's perfect. I mean, we're all in the same general-ish area. We could make it happen.
Firestone's in my living room right now.
Yeah.
Come here, Firestone.
Yeah.
Oh no, oh no,
Literally, my boy's right here.
Uh,
Oh, Boop. I am so excited to be a player, honestly. And the character that Firestone and I built together for his campaign is just
my gosh.
character
Do you want to
fantasy.
give him a little excerpt? You can. You could tease.
Should I? Oh, I don't know. Oh my god. I almost get teary-eyed because yeah, I became a DM because I realized that and not to take shots at any of my group because I love them all dearly. I just realized none of the people I played with were going to put the kind of effort into a campaign that I desired out of it. And that's why I became a DM. And Firestone is going to put in that effort. And I'm going to play a quarter high elf human who's Fey touched, and he was raised in a briar patch by 3 hags that are inspired from the Sanderson sisters off of Hocus Pocus. I'm gonna be a blade singer who dual wields, and I'm just absolutely thrilled. And there's Viking boy giving Firestone some hellos. Yeah, Boop, I'm super excited to be a player. That's for damn sure. But that's for another time, my friends. For now, let's jump into this. So we went over expectations. Let's dive into comfort levels. I'm gonna go first since I'm running this, and I think that mine's gonna be. I feel like mine will probably cover the bases, but I will not dive into sexual assault. I will not dive into um, children being harmed. I will not dive into gore. I like to allude. If I feel like it is important to the story, I may allude to some of those things very vaguely, but I will never describe them. Aside from that, most things are on the table. Racism can be a hot topic. I think that if it's relevant to the story, and elves hating humans and orcs hating this and that, it's not really key in my setting. But there might be some people that have cultural differences, and it could become racially charged. It'll never be emulating real world things though. Like it'll be elves versus humans or orcs versus humans. It'll never be color. It'll never be gender. Those kinds of topics. I'm here to put on a show for you guys, where they can be intriguing and they can be meaty. for the most part, I'm going to skirt very carefully as not to upset anyone. I want this to be a fun and lighthearted adventure. There will be moments of intensity, moments of, death and brutality and, you know, perhaps slavery, things like that. I will do my best to maintain a tone. That's pretty much where I stand for the most part. I will now hand the floor over to you two gentlemen, and you can tell me where you guys are as far as comfortability goes.
Um, I'm glad you went over those. Those are all fantastic. I agree wholeheartedly. Um, However, the other thing I have to say is situations regarding abuse probably skim over those for me. And people having sex, I it just feels too porny. I'd rather go into room, fade to black, than any more than that makes me a little bit uncomfortable. Those are the only two things that I
Okay,
would say.
yeah, I should have gone over that too, because yeah, I'm not going to describe any sexual scenes at all. And as far as abuse goes, yes, again, those are two things that I would potentially allude to if it lended itself to the story, but I will be very vague. Is that within your comfort zone?
Yeah, uh, alluding is fine, and yeah, vagueness, all of those smooths it over.
Excellent. And really, once again, I have to really push home only if it assists the story in some way. All right, chaos.
The only thing I like, everything you said, yes. Like you guys are taking all the good ones away from me. I can't really.
Gotta answer first, bro.
I'm the only thing I would say is that I tend to steer away from substance abuse descriptions in my campaigns, and it's not. It personally, as someone who's sober, it's not something I'm overly comfortable with. I don't have issue with my character having a beer at a tavern. That's not a problem. A drug den, less so. I'm less comfortable with that. If it is integral, like there's a thieves guild that happens to be like dealing a harmful substance to like the populace, I'm okay with that as long as it is, again, alluded to, it is plot focused. I don't want to go into like a den, or
Don't.
I don't want to like see someone ODing personally.
Okay. So, don't describe, the opium den where they're getting
Yeah,
glitched out of their mind.
yeah,
We can
yeah,
say, hey, there is one over there, but we don't need to describe or go any
yeah,
further. Correct?
yeah. That's
Okay.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't imagine. I mean, hey, it could happen. I hadn't had it planned out.
Yeah,
Um,
I've it's not something I normally ever run into, but it's something I always like to put
Absolutely, I
out there.
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Party session zero, dog.
Part of session 0. That's what we're here for. Excellent. Anything else, gentlemen?
Nah, this isn't like this isn't a thing, but like if any of us at any point have a problem that we didn't previously realize,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, like it is, I am always going to encourage anyone to speak up if they're uncomfortable. I will never be upset by that. You can be like, hey, I need to pause this session right now because this is making me uncomfortable, and you have my full support.
And
Yeah.
I would like to utilize our boy Firestone system here. I would like you
Yeah.
each to get a note card or a piece of paper and draw a big black dot on it. If a
Yeah.
moment comes up and you don't want to interrupt or you don't want to speak out, just raise that up and cover your camera. Boom. And that will be my cue to go, okay, boom, we're going to move on right away. And then we can discuss it after the session, after the stream, and kind of have our back and forth on what went wrong and where it went wrong.
Yeah. Perfect. Sounds good to me.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Um, I really have to. All right. Next, I prefer no substances during the stream. If you
Darn it.
want to smoke a bowl, have a beer, cool. If it becomes a problem, I'm gonna call you on it, and we're gonna nip that in the bud. Um, I have not a lot of tolerance for someone getting drunk or high and not paying attention, me having to repeat stuff or getting sloppy in the session.
I think it is helpful that both of us are so freaking excited to play
Yeah.
that that we don't want to be out of our wits. Uh,
Absolutely.
I 100% agree. Um, I feel the exact same way when I run.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'll note I'm very disappointed that I can't drink from my own personal, restrictions that I put on myself. But yeah, I
Yeah.
have absolutely no
Yeah.
issue with this.
And
That's fair.
like I said, if it's something you want to do and you can manage yourself and it doesn't become an issue,
Oh yeah.
by all means. But if the moment it becomes an issue, I'm gonna call it out.
Yep.
Plus, we have to take notes so we can backtrack and make this thing
Oh
longer.
yeah. No.
Make it
No.
last longer.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to be
Absolutely.
really meticulous. Like every minor character will get their own arc. That's what I'm
But
expecting.
yeah, and I mean, don't get me wrong. Like your boy Steve, like I smoking weed's awesome, man. But I just can't
Oh
do.
yeah.
I can't play D&D properly. I can't DM properly and do it. That's a talent that. Shout out to my boy Bam on Weed DM who gets blitzed out of his mind and DMs an amazing campaign. Like
Yeah, that I can't
bravo.
imagine
And
that.
Skills.
That's fucking impressive.
all of his players get ripped, and they put on a fantastic show. Like, mwah, mwah, mwah. Kudos to them. No hate on it whatsoever. Just me personally, I can't do it. I forget too much shit.
I will forgive you this once.
What are we doing again? Where'd you? Oh yeah, you guys were going. Anyway,
Was there supposed to be a villain in there? Oh,
pretty sure I missed something. All right. Moving on from that. What's next?
I don't really have any like restrictions or anything that I can think
Yeah,
of.
that covers my basics as far as getting into a session 0 for the most part.
Yeah, communication. Oh, split party
Yeah,
rules.
fine. Have at it. No problem. I
Yeah,
have no
if
issue running that.
yeah, well, no, I was assuming you had no issue running it. I'm wondering like how much time per each grouping of split party do they get? Like, is it a 5 minute thing?
I usually am, and you can ask Barry Boy over there because boy oh have they split the party a lot. I usually go 5 to 10 minutes for each group
Yeah,
tops.
that sounds.
Depends
Yeah.
on what's happening. If someone's in a fight, I'll jump back to them, let them do a turn, jump back to the other people for maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and then jump back to them. It really depends on the intensity and the pacing.
Yeah.
If someone's screwing around in the shop, I might wait a little bit longer before I get back to them. But usually no more than 10 minutes for each split group.
Totally
sounds
fine
good.
by me.
I feel
Yeah.
like
There's
that.
only 2 or 3 of us. Splitting the party is
Y-
even worse
Yeah.
of an idea.
I'm not. It's not something I'm actually concerned about. I'm more doing this just for like, hey, so you guys all know these are the rules we're playing by.
Yeah, no,
Huh.
we made like 3 whole streams out of running a session 0, but we're
Seriously,
able to get through it
we've
in like
already
10 minutes.
talked about all of this, but let's talk about it one more time.
Absolutely.
Well, let's talk about other rules then.
Shall
Your
we
rules
jump into the homebrews?
concerning homebrews and uh, dice rolling. I mean, I guess it's not a big of a deal if you're not playing live because you roll on the computer, but still.
Yeah, well, we're gonna play in Foundry. Um, we're going to run. There's a few homebrew rules that I won't budge on. That just for me to enjoy, I kind of, you know, certain things take away from the game for me. Personally, I cannot stand the lucky feat.
Which is terrible, and honestly, I should just leave the campaign now because of that.
No.
Bye. To combat that, I have a mechanic called luck points, where you can acquire luck points and you can announce that you'd like to use one before your roll, and you can roll at advantage. Everyone gets them. They can be rewarded for roleplay. They can be rewarded for combat stuff. They can be rewarded for completing missions. They can be rewarded if you make me laugh my ass off. It's really I am pretty frivolous with them. I throw them out all the time. So luck points are a big deal. I will also be running perk points. Uh, Basically, it's another way to give you guys a reward. It's not loot and items and money. You know, it's a system where you can kind of choose some extra skills and stuff like that. You guys will run your basic character sheets. you'll choose your basic class, but then each level you'll get a few perk points that you can invest in, your ability scores, or you can go to the dungeon coach's point by feat system PDF I have, where the dungeon coach, shout out to the dungeon coach, broke up all of the feats into mini feats and added perk point evaluations to them. And thank you so much, Boop. Beautiful. I love you, Boop. And you can basically get yourself little miniature feats. It's pretty expansive. It's going to make your gameplay kind of unique and give you a little bit more dimension. Yeah. And look,
So I've got a question about how that works.
absolutely.
I'm a fighter, which means I get a lot of ASIs. Do those ASIs go away and get replaced by perk points, or do I get the
Nope.
ASIs and also?
Yep, just standard leveling. You can at your level 4 and 8, whenever you'd get a feat or an ASI, you can choose to take your feat or ASI, and you guys will all just get some perk points each level. Also, another thing that I do is I custom make perks for my characters, depending on the kind of stuff that you're trying to do. That is one that I just absolutely love doing because I'm a homebrew fiend, and I hope you guys are cool with getting unique abilities that are tailored to your character.
No.
I'm very interested to see what you do with mine.
You are a painter. I've been struggling, but I think I've got some cool stuff that I can throw it in.
I have so many old art history books. If you want me to like lend you some, like I can give you like some theories. We
And
can
my
work with
wife's
something.
my wife's an art history major, so I'll just have to sit
That's
down with her. Falcon Fruit
just-
Savages, where you at? We've got another art history major here. Major, she's got a degree. Did you graduate?
yeah.
Nice, nice.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And as you can see, I'm clearly doing so much with it right now.
She had to get a second degree, so
Yeah. Yes.
know.
Yes. Which is understandable.
So yeah, perk points, luck points, custom perks. I absolutely time turns, typically 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I am okay with players using their intelligence, wisdom, or wisdom modifiers for initiative. Is that something that you guys are down for?
You
Hmm.
said intelligence, wisdom, or what?
Intelligence and wisdom. I feel like dexterity, intelligence, and wisdom are all things that would give you an advantage to go a little bit quicker in combat.
Would not have an issue with that. I guess I would note that in my perspective, because wizard here, hi, and I put everything into intelligence because yes, um, wizards are meant to be a little slower and weaker to balance out the fact that I cast spells.
Absolutely.
So I don't have issue with that. I like being able to do more things. As long as you are okay with that,
Well, and I
you
think
have my support.
Firestone's playing a character that's going into strength, con, and charisma, so he gets kind of chinched there. Again,
Yeah.
these are up on the table, and I'm just throwing them out there. Shoot down whatever. If someone doesn't like it, we won't
I'm
run
gonna use
with it.
heavy armor, so it makes sense that I'm a slow boy.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be painting stuff. I'm very nimble. What can I say? Yeah, I don't have an issue with that. That's fine.
The other thing that I need to ask you, Sev, this is a little bit off topic for session 0, but are we creating characters in Foundry today, or do I need to create a character somewhere else?
So we're gonna import characters from D&D Beyond.
Okay, so I need to fix my D&D Beyond character then.
Correct, and we can do that importation at the end of this. This if we have time. If not, I'll just do it during the week. So far, all I have is the perk points, the luck points, the time turns. Do we want to go with the initiative?
Yeah, the initiative is fine. I really want to use the exhaustion system. I love that.
Absolutely. You know my exhaustion system, Firestone. Are you okay with that as well?
Yeah, that's fine. That adds a little oomph to it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Spice.
anytime a player would take a stack of exhaustion, they can roll a con save DC 15 to avoid suffering it. Level 1 gives you -1 to all your rolls and -5 movement per level. So that'll go up. So at level 2, you'll have -2 to all your rolls and -10 movement, and you won't be able to use a reaction. Level 3, both of those things, only it'll be -3 to all rolls, -15 to movement. You'll only get an action or a bonus action. 4 levels exhaustion, all of that, +1 to the rolls, +5, or I mean -1 to the rolls, -5 to the movement. Can't concentrate, and maximum HP is reduced by half. Level 5, again, continues with suffering on the rolls and the movement. You can only make 1 attack, advantage on attacks against you. And level 6, you fall unconscious and you start rolling death saves.
Yeah, love that. Absolutely love that.
So I will transfer that over. Awesome.
Yeah.
Um, is there something specific that? How about the rest system? That's a little bit. That's a little bit rougher.
Yeah. I. Hmm. I would be down to do it. Yeah, I would be down to do it.
It lends itself to be a little bit more gritty.
Yes.
But if that's the direction we're going, because Elta'Grad, I'm super down for it.
So, I don't like, and I don't think you two would do this, but I hate when players try to abuse
Oh yeah, no, I
the
hate that shit
dungeon
too.
and such.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
I personally do really like this system. Um,
Yeah.
it's not too crunchy. It's fairly intuitive. I'd probably take out the half hit die half thing. Like, you can just hit die back and get to use them. But you won't be able to necessarily get rid of your exhaustion right away. You have to use a hit die to get rid of it, or you'd have to go into a prolonged rest. I do want to make this a little more entertaining and a little more streamlined, so maybe not.
Well, I don't think necessarily it has to be incredibly arduous. Like, I mean, the big thing is like for us to like fully do the long rest, it's a day in a safe location. And basically instead of us like kind of being like, oh well, maybe we can, maybe we can't, you could just be like, yeah, you can here, or no, you can't. You can streamline it in that way, where you can just be like yes or no, which is a bummer because I like playing and living dangerously, but like you can do it that way. And then the short rest, the 6 hours, which is required every single night, or else we gain a stack of exhaustion. I love that personally. I like the fact because sometimes players are just like, I don't need to sleep. There's no consequences. No
Wrong.
consequences. Give me all the consequences.
I'm going to tentatively put it in there, and if we have any problems with it or it becomes too crunchy,
I do like it, especially the short rest. If you don't long rest, then exhaustion. We're both short rest characters. Wizards can get their spell slot back on short rest.
I have Well, I have arcane recovery too. So like I'm chilling.
So if we were like just between the two of us, if we were like somewhere where we probably wouldn't abuse the long rest thing anyway.
No.
But I really like the you have to long rest or you take exhaustion eventually.
excellent. All right, so we'll add that in then.
The dangerous magic system. I'm interested in that. I would like to play with that. That would be fun.
I will 100. I would love to do that too. So, just real quick for the viewers, my resting system, you've got a breather that's 10 minutes to catch your breath, and you can use healing items and half your hit die. Your rest is 6 hours of sleeping. It'll restore half your hit die, all your spell slots, all your class features, round down on everything. You can expend hit die for healing, and you can expend any previously unused hit die to recover 1 stack of exhaustion. Maximum of 1 stack per rest. Complete a rest every 24 hours or gain 1 stack of exhaustion. If a rest is interrupted, choose to suffer either 1 stack of exhaustion or lose the other benefits of the rest. And then you have a recovery, which is a prolonged rest in a safe location for at least 24 hours. It'll remove all stacks of exhaustion and heal you fully, recovering everything.
Removing those all stacks of exhaustion, way better than long rest in regular D&D. Don't tell Wizards of the Coast.
I may have made better mechanics than Wizards of the Coast. They don't want to hire me, so no, I'm kidding. I haven't applied. That's a lie. All right, cool. The dangerous casting. So, do you want dangerous casting and spell duels?
Yes.
Okay.
That
So let's
would be
dive into this
so
really
much
quick.
fun.
So in this world, magic is wild and dangerous, and even the most practiced casters can lose control of this primal and mysterious power. Every time a spell is cast, roll a d20. If you roll a 1 through 5, the spell goes awry. Effects are left to the DM's discretion. The material consumption is only half of the usual cost on a failed spell. I'm probably not going to, unless you as a player want to manage material costs.
Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest.
Cool. I'm not going to require that of you, so we can ixnay that. But yeah, we'll have a casting check every time you cast a spell, and if you roll a 1 through 5, it might blow up in your face. It might shoot off to one of your friends. It might, have incredibly unintended consequences.
Yes. I'm so excited.
Arcane focuses are the way to go anyway.
What'd you say? Arcane
Arcane
focuses.
focuses are the way to go.
All right, awesome. I will add that in.
And then spell duel, which also I love.
Spell duels.
Sounds cool.
So
Yeah.
just like I hate the lucky feat, I also have extreme prejudice against counterspell. I don't like gotcha moments. I don't like nope moments. I don't like moments that ruin tension. And the lucky feat re-rolling some devastating roll or counterspell just completely negating some spell that was gonna whack the shit out of you, I don't find fun. So I developed spell duels. When another creature you see begins casting a spell, you may use your reaction to attempt to counter this spell with your own. Target caster's spell and your spell must be in the same school of magic. Make a contested check using your spell attack modifier. Spells have a base +2 against cantrips, additionally +1 for every level above the opponent's spell level, and -1 for every level above your opponent's spell level. Spells must overlap if both are area effect, e.g. cone, sphere, line, cube, cylinder. On a failure, target caster spell is cast. On a success, the target caster fails, and the defensive caster spell is cast. Natural 1s are really dangerous, and natural 20s are really powerful in these duels, and they may have some unforeseen effects, DM's discretion. This can make casting a bit crunchy, especially if we're going to be combining it with the other casting role. The nice thing is Boundary really smooths a lot of stuff out. I don't think it'll be a problem.
Yeah, I don't think it will either. I'll say I love Dangerous Magic. I love the spell duel concept. Maybe spell duel tentative, and then if I'm because I'm saying if I'm running into issues with it, I might ask that maybe we tweak it a little bit. But I don't feel like I will.
Every time you're casting a spell, an opposing caster just shits on you.
Yeah, maybe I don't want that. Who knows?
I love it. And just so you viewers know, you're getting a little peek into the Sev's brew, which has been a closely guarded secret.
It's a very snacksy brew. I really like it.
I'm a fan. Okay. Definitely love the I know a guy, but I don't know if we should make that applicable. Since you guys,
yeah.
I created the I know a guy, as mostly a thing because they were in it was humanity's been mostly wiped out. There's 3 major cities, and they are at home in one of them. You'll probably know a guy. In this giant world, massive civilization, world-spanning thing, might not be the easiest thing in the world.
I don't think
We
that.
could do. I know a guy in hometowns, but other than that,
Yeah.
Which I don't even
Yeah.
think we need to
Well, I
mechanize
don't
in
think
any way. We can
yeah,
just say,
I think that's literally being like, hey, Sam, I think I actually know a guy here.
Do I really know a guy?
I think you know a guy. Cool. Sentinel feat.
You have that homebrew sentinel feat, right?
So Sentinel feat made sensible. If a target is a size smaller, you can reduce its movement to 0. If the creature is your size, reduce its movement by half. If it's one size larger, -15 to its movement. If it's 2 sizes larger or more, it's ineffective. A mother flapper should not be able to whack a dragon with a spear and stop its movement.
What if you're on a dragon?
Hey, let's talk about that. If it's your size, then maybe. If your dragon tried, then sure. If you have a sentinel feat and your dragon attacks, I might let that transfer over. Sure. That could be broken. I don't know.
Either way, your Sentinel feat is dope, and I'd love to use it. Although I know our gnome wizard is going to take the Sentinel feat anyway, so.
I was just about to say, I'm really excited for the Sentinel feat as a 3'2" gnome. Can't wait. Gonna be
It'll stop
great.
any tiny or small creatures.
Yeah, pretty much I'm gonna have a bunch of goblins that have sentinels, so it's just reducing your movement by half.
Those squirrels are doomed. That's what I'm gonna say.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and you got to think. I think when you're riding your dragons, you guys will be considered like a large creature altogether.
You know, in the future when our dragons are actually,
Yeah, we're
But I
talking.
mean, hey,
when they're
higher
rideable.
I would like to point out, I feel like since I'm a very small creature, I should be able to ride my dragon sooner than everyone else.
I think that's
I'm like
completely.
20 pounds. Come on.
I think that's completely reasonable. What if your dragon hatches and it's a little tiny gnome dragon?
Then I call bunk on the DM. No, it's totally fine.
You're like, God damn it, the dragon fucked me.
No, I wanted a really tall dragon.
I wanted a big one. God damn it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Full grown, it's the size of a horse. I don't know what to tell you.
But it moves like fucking bad out of hell.
Right? All right, so Sentinel feet.
Sentinel feet.
Plus. I totally fine.
Tight. I will add that in.
Oh, by the way, George, I haven't said anything quite yet, but I am planning on grabbing a lance once dragons are rideable, because so few people ever use lances, and I'm like, I want to be the lance guy.
I have a really random question. Have you ever played the Fire Emblem series?
Oh my god, one of my all-time favorite series.
Same here.
Played nearly every one of them.
They're so good. They're so good.
The only one I haven't played is the one on the Switch, and I own it, and I bought it when it came out like 2 years ago almost, and I haven't played it.
I have not. I have difficulty buying Nintendo products because I have so many other things that I want to play. But I've emulated a lot of the older ones and like Sacred Stones and like Blazing Blade and Binding Blade.
Absolutely.
But there is a specific character in Sacred Stones actually who is literally just like a wyvern knight assassin. You know Valter? Do you know Valter from it?
He was so hard to get. He was so hard to
get. Oh my god. So literally it's just this guy, this really creepy dude, on a dragon with a lance. And that's what I thought of in that moment, and it got me really excited. So just wanted to share that.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna be a good boy version of that.
Good boy version. He was a good guy. He was just creepy.
Valter was not a good guy.
You know, caveat there, it's been 15 years since I played that on the Game Boy Advanced.
And you should be ashamed of yourself for not remembering the exact plot of the game.
Fuck you.
He was a good boy and he gave everybody hugs. That was the plot of the game.
That was the plot.
Everyone liked him.
I actually didn't. I don't think I beat it. I got to like the last 2 or 3 missions, and I lost too many like important people, and I never finished it.
Oh, honey.
Yeah, I should replay it. Honestly, I'll probably get an emulator and do that. My problem is I have children and other stuff to do, and Fire Emblem games, I get sucked into them.
That's super fair. Right. Yeah, future combo. We'll talk about later.
Moving back to the D&D'sers. Where the heck were we? Going over rules. Awesome. Resurrection. My resurrection rule. Do we want resurrection to be a regular thing?
Don't feel like resurrection in this world with the dragons makes sense. Yeah. I think because our lives are closely tied, if one of us dies, it's kind of that's just it. Personally.
Since it kills 2 souls, I agree.
Boom. Resurrection is out.
Which makes this much more dangerous, but we'll try.
Giddy up, Buttercup. This is gonna get gnarly. Sunder. Destroy an item, armor, or weapon one size smaller than you that someone is wearing, carrying, holding, or using. Roll at disadvantage. AC and HP item is up to the DM's discretion.
Okay, I think this also relates to item durability, which is going to be something we're talking about later.
Yeah, I don't want to include that, actually.
Yeah, I don't think we should include Sunder or item durability because, again, I love inventory management. it's terribly time consuming.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
crunchy, and we want to
Plus,
make this
with a
streamlined.
full-blown wizard with fireball, and you have to think about the items in it. And
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, scratch that. Move on. Fall damage for real-ish. Falling deals the same damage as always, 1d6 per 10 feet to a maximum of 20d6. If damage taken from a fall exceeds your Constitution score, you are reduced to 0 HP and become unconscious and dying. So you start rolling your death saves.
So what you're saying is I might actually need to consider taking the flight spell. Cool.
Featherfall, please take
Feather.
Featherfall. If my heavy ass falls out of the sky off a dragon, we're gonna have problems.
If damage taken from a fall exceeds twice your Constitution score, you die instantly. The DM may give you a chance to save yourself with a skill check. I've crunched the numbers on here, and so if you think about it, let's say your Constitution is 12, pretty low. It could be 8 or whatnot. If someone's falling from 20 feet, I was an EMT once upon a time. A fall from over 8 feet is considered dangerous to the spinal cord. That's where we bring in a spinal board and carry them out.
8 feet? 8 feet?
A fall, if someone's feet are above 8 feet and they fall, that is considered dangerous to their spinal and their cranium.
That's the lowest number, right?
I'm just talking about IRL stuff.
Well, let me think. With dragons and no resurrection, we'd probably be dead if we did the regular rules or those rules. But if we want it more realistic, for real falling damage makes it much more realistic.
Your dragon can also save you.
That's true.
That's true. I say yes. I say yes.
So think about this. You have to fall. So like I was saying, let's just say your Constitution score is 12. You have to fall at least 20 feet for it to, and that just reaches your Constitution score. So a 20-foot fall isn't going to kill you. It might hurt you, but it's not going to like instantly knock you unconscious, depending on your HP, right? But if you take a fall from 30 feet, there's a good chance that might knock you unconscious. Again, it's up to the dice rolls. If you take like exceeding twice your Constitution score for you to die instantly, how many d6 do you have to max out to get 24?
Yeah.
66. That's a 60-foot fall. That seems very reasonable. This was something that I took from someone else. I crunched the numbers a whole bunch. I tested it a whole bunch, and it made a lot of sense to me. It sounds kind of funky when you first hear it, but it does make sense in practice.
Let's try it.
That being said, we can give it a shot and see what happens. Also, falling is going to be probably pretty important later on in the game.
Yeah, I am down to do it. Oh, also, Glowpaint just messaged. I am
here. Glowpaint, please.
I am down to do it. I am a wizard. I will die so fast, but I'm down for it. It just means I have to. Means I have to take Featherfall basically, or flight. That basically is what it is. It means I actually have to slot that.
Yeah. But also it totally makes sense for a 3-foot gnome falling 40 feet through the air.
Hey! This is supposed to be a high fantasy adventure. Sheesh.
You're fair. That's fair.
Fall damage for real-ish is in.
Yeah, I'm fine for that.
Cool. How's everyone doing in the stream? Are we enjoying this?
Woo.
Very boy, when you crunch the numbers, it's pretty. I think so too. Appreciate you, Sir Wingy. It looks like our third player woke up, and he's jumping in a few minutes, which is exciting, and that makes me really happy. And I'm glad it was just him sleeping.
We immediately forgive him.
I do.
Yeah,
I do. We're gonna give him a bunch of shit when he comes in, though.
Oh, 100%. But the fact that he A, messaged, and B, was apologetic, and I don't know. If he does it again, I will murder him, but I can forgive him for this.
You've got to make quite a travel for that, but yeah, for sure. Sounds good. I'm going to take 2 seconds and get some water. You guys can keep talking.
Ooh. I don't.
I'm good. Thank you.
I mean, what else would you like to talk
freaking
about?
awesome.
Yeah,
We're gonna ride dragons.
Well, you're gonna ride dragons. I'm gonna ride a mini dragon.
Tiny
But
dragon.
yes, dragons. I don't know. So I don't think Sev has talked about this. So Sev is going to make it so that the dragons give us specific
Yes.
powers, right? So I'm going to go in my case. In my case, my dragon is obviously going to be related to painting, creativity, and self-expression, which I'm super excited for. Again, I feel. Oh, I'm super excited for my character. I feel a little bad because it is an artist character. And I feel like that can go in a lot of directions, and I feel like I'm going to make Sev's life difficult. But also, I can't wait to just try weird shit.
Yes. Super important.
Hey. Challenge me. One of my favorite things as a DM.
We were actually talking about dragons, I think, last night. I pitched him an idea for yours, but we were talking about mine, and mine is supposed to help, like, magically, like, like armor me. And I want a big beefy boy, like a big European style, Smaug.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want a little cuddly guy that like I can like snuggle with and paint on. That's all I care about.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
I just
sweet.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think probably go with a white dragon for the canvas. See what happens. Okay, let's continue. We can catch our boy up when he jumps in. I'll have to talk to him about the comfortability stuff too. Just sideline that because we're already at 11. I mean, I guess we started pretty late. I don't know.
Yeah.
It kind of depends on how long everyone wants to go. I wouldn't mind running back through it all. He's the one who needs it most. He's the new player. He's
Yeah. Do you guys also have to walk me through creating a character on D&D Beyond? Because I've never done that before.
Oh, I got your back, baby girl.
we're popping your cherry in that, are we? It's super intuitive. I love it. As someone that's always done paper and pencil,
It's really easy.
It's great. I love it. Yeah.
All right. Next rule. Interaction. This is one that I stand by pretty firmly. During a player's turn, they can use interaction to perform one skill check for free. Promotes player interaction with the environment during combat without the fear of potentially wasting a turn.
I love that.
100%.
As long as we're noting that skill check isn't like I want to use my stealth to, within reason, right? Like doing a history check on maybe the armor or the location during combat or stuff like that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Nature check to try to identify the type of thing you're fighting.
Yeah, or like Arcana check to like note maybe if they have any magical items on them or stuff like that. Like
and athletics if you want to climb something, and acrobatics if you want to jump over something.
Exactly. Nothing too absolutely game breaking, but like, yeah, I would love that. That would be great.
Promoting interaction in combat is super important. How do you feel about talking during combat? Free action? Are you thinking?
Yeah, man. I would never. I've never run that as costing someone something unless there's some ability tied to it.
You are a kind DM.
Like why wouldn't you? I mean, that being said, I time turns. So go ahead and talk while you're doing something, or else you're gonna waste your turn talking. If you guys have 30 seconds to strategize like you would in a real fight, I mean, you wouldn't really have 30 seconds to strategize in a real fight. But if you want to yell something out to someone, if you want to talk something, if it becomes too much, I'm going to nip you. I'm going to be like, all right, this dude attacks you while you're sitting there fucking yabbering. That's how I handle it. So at your leisure and at your danger.
Okay.
Or peril. There we go. At your peril. Got to jump out of the stream. Bye, princess. We appreciate you. Much love. Ka-chow. What's up, Insomniac? Happy to have you, my man. All right. Interaction is in. Tandem turns. Players with higher initiative may hold their turn and use a tandem turn, working together or alternating with another party member during the round. Reset initiative each round.
Okay.
Come at me.
I like it. I've never done that before. That's where I'm at. So I don't know, honestly.
So let's say you, Wizard Boy, roll 18. Your dragons are going to go on your turn. You guys are going to be considered a single entity. Let's say that our fighter boy rolls a 2. You guys want to do something together, utilizing your skills to pull a wombo combo. Maybe you're using Gust to knock someone over to give him advantage to attack, and that person would that enemy would go after you, but before him, and be able to get up. You hold your turn till his turn order. You use your skill, and he uses his. At the top of the next initiative, you go back to where you were before. It is something that's going to promote teamwork, something that's going to promote combo attacks. It's going to give you more freedom of creativity and a little bit more tactical prowess.
I do like that. The comboing and being able to work a little better in tandem is good. And
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it still stays balanced because that means if you use an ability that like lasts a round or something, your round is much shorter.
I was actually gonna mention. Does that just mean like we would have a minute in total? Basically, I'm assuming we would just combine turn times. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. I'm thinking.
He's thinking.
Okay.
I wasn't
Okay.
sure either.
Typically, when someone's done that in the past, it's only it's been pretty quick. They're like, "Yo, I'm gonna do this. You down to do that? All right, yeah, let's do it together." You guys will each have your 30-second turns. So yeah.
Okay. Cool.
And that being said, I don't really call out the 30-second turn that much unless I feel like you're taking too long, and then I'll just be like, "All right, you got 15 seconds left. You got 10 seconds left." If you're like describing like stuff you're doing, then minor beef with this rule because sometimes two players want to do something really complicated mid battle, and true. That's true, Barry.
I mean, that's what disadvantage is for, or just saying no. That's the great thing.
Fair too. And Barry Boy is a player in my main campaign, so he's played with these rules. That being said, you're trying to do something really complicated in mid battle. Strategize before battle about those kinds of moves so that you can have like, all right, let's pull a fastball special. I would say that that's more on your guys' end than the rules end, personally.
Let's pull Never Throw a Gnome.
Never throw a gnome.
Don't throw me, please don't throw me.
He'll break real easy.
I already am going to tell that I'm gonna have to consistently tell Ty. Maybe be a little kinder.
I think players could absolutely rehearse ahead of time.
Hey, and he's joined us.
Here?
I see a bubble.
Oh, good lord. My
This
man.
is my full-blown apology tour right now. Your boy crashed like no other. I was sneezing. I took an allergy pill. My head was killing me. I took some Tylenol. I was like, you know what? I was like, great time for a nap. 11 p.m. Let's get the alarm going, and nothing. I woke up and I said, man, I got a good rest in. Let's see what time it is. It said 1:45. Fuck, my bad. Like that is
No worries. You're out of the campaign. Take a hike. We just wanted to bring you in to tell you that.
Hey man, I would not
Jokes,
blame
bro.
you for
Jokes, bro.
that.
We were a little bummed out, but I assumed it was something along those lines, and we're glad you're here, my man.
All that matters is that you're here, dude.
Yeah.
We can all play together.
Yeah.
I'm playing it into my character, like he's gonna be late for everything, have no sense of time, all that kind of shit. Like this is normal.
Hey, no sweat. We were talking about this earlier, about, we have lives, stuff happens. If it became a reoccurring issue, probably boot whoever's doing that. But,
Right.
you said sorry, you jumped in. We're happy to have you here, man. We just want to play a game with you.
Absolutely.
That being said, we've got a lot to recap for you.
We're
gonna.
Do we want to do?
Let's recap maybe
We're gonna
send him all
speed.
the stuff,
We're
or
gonna speed run it pretty much.
oh, okay, let's
Go
do it.
for it. All good.
So first things first. Uh, why don't you go ahead and describe your character for us?
Okay, right on the spot. Let's go. My character is a fox person, if you will, a kitsune. It's kind of part of his name that he wasn't really given a last name per se, so they only gave him a first name, which is Kanako. He is a brownish red, ashy kind of fox. Kind of was raised by his father for the amount of time that he could, and grew up uh, the rest of the time secluded out in the woods. He uh, is much more of a loner, if you will, not as much of a friend and family kind of guy. It's super close knit, very tight knit. The Kitsune race wasn't really looked at with the best of intentions for a while because they were tricksters or causing people issues or problems, things of that nature. So they kind of kept to themselves for the later parts. But he's looking to grow and advance and bring something different to the Dragon Riders that they wouldn't potentially otherwise have.
Hot dog. If you want to talk about your family at all, you can. I know that that's you kind of you missed a little bit where our other boys kind of went over theirs.
Okay,
They dove into their the town they're from and the people that they grew up with and whatnot.
Or Kingdom.
Or kingdom.
okay,
Actually, before you do that, why don't both of you give our boy Glowpaint a very quick recap on your characters? So for the third
Sure.
time,
Well, at
Firestone.
this point,
Or not Firestone, I'm sorry, for the third time Chaos.
I was like, what? Like, okay, Firestone goes, I guess. Yeah. So, character's name is Salvador Nabiri. He
No,
talks
no,
like
no,
this a
no,
little bit.
no, 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 no. We still need the full name. I'm sorry.
Okay. His full name is Salvador Francisco de Paulo Juan Maria de los Remios Cipriano de la Santísima Trinidad Ruiz y Nabiri, which is a mouthful. So a lot of his friends just call him Salvador Nabiri or Salvador Nabiri for a longer artistic name. He's from the Middle Kingdom, which is has now been named Imandir. His mother is a sculptor. His father is a professor of like the history of the world. He isn't really close to either of them. They're not bad parents, but they're not fantastic either. His grandfather's like the real inspiration for him. His name is Paulo. He is an old, somewhat senile mage from Selendir, like the Northern Kingdom, and his grandfather basically has encouraged him to explore magic and explore his creativity and kind of like combine his artistic drive because he certainly doesn't really have talent and his magical Latin like ability. And so he's kind of doing those two things. He's really interested in like discovering and learning about people's customs and cultures. So like anyone that he hasn't met before, he's going to ask a lot of questions about. He's going to be like, where are you from? What are you interested in? Like, what are your parents like? And a lot of the time it tends to get him into trouble because he asks questions that maybe he shouldn't be in first interactions.
got
He
it, got
is a
it.
gnome. He is 3'2". He is very small and very, very strange, but he's really excited to meet friends. That's
Sounds
my
good.
quick
Hot
synopsis.
dog.
I dig it.
Beautiful. All right,
Um,
Firestone.
my name is Ty. It's short for Tyrell Booksworth. Um, I'm a kid who grew up in a desert, small town. It's a big on a trade route, so I see a lot of folks come by. Um, I'm a big boy. I'm about 6 foot, real broad shoulders. I've got fair skin, but I am in the sun quite a bit. So I've got real bad farmer tans, kind of like different spots all wrapped up, and some of it's tan, some of it's not. You're not really sure. I'm a half elf, so I got little pointy ears. But I got blonde hair that comes down to my shoulders. I tie up in a man bun. It gets in my way a lot. Um, I live in my mom and pa have a general store that they operate. My mom and pa sell water to the town, so they make quite a bit, but most of it's bartering. Our town's too small to really care about money. However, I go to school right now at least. I'm trying to work a little harder to become a guard of some sort and get out of this little town and eventually become a squire and then maybe if I could a knight. That would be how do you say it? Fantastic. I think that's how you say it. Either way, my best friend, his name is Rook. He's the giant that is in our town with the trade. He taught me how to use a sword a bit. I think it's his toothpick, but he lets me use it as a sword. He lets me read big books. And when I say big books, I mean they're huge. I could walk on them. He also teaches me how to say the hard words like riposte. That's it.
I
That's me,
love it.
Ty.
Hey, thanks for the follow there, Silent Wolf. Much appreciated. Is that your
Yeah,
significant
that's
other?
my girlfriend.
Woo.
She's like, "Oh God, are they gonna still let you play? Oh shit, I didn't mean to let you sleep that long. I'm sorry, I slept too." So
Aw,
yeah,
no worries.
she's she's in
I love glow paint and I want nothing more than to play with him. So yeah, absolutely.
there.
All right, awesome.
Okay, so I'll try to match what you guys also said about your characters. I'll further say that his parents, he never really got to meet his mother. There were complications during childbirth, so he didn't really know his mom, just what his dad kind of told him of her life, and uh, he was only in Kitsune's age until about 10 or so years old. And then due to complications in his own life, he passed as well. He was left alone for lots of his life. He's about anywhere from 18 to 19 right now. He's been on his own for quite a while. He talks with a bit more of a gravelly accent than what you might be used to for people, as he is a fox as well. He sticks to the woods, and he was given an item by his father that causes him to follow in the moons and their paths and cycles, and really wants to explore that part of his life. And it's a driving force to reactivate part of his father's life into his own, and to reestablish what that means. Because his father was a well-known thief for most of his life, extremely dangerous, cutthroat. Cross him, he'll cross you in ways that you don't expect, type of thing. Until he did meet rather his wife at the time, which I want to explore eventually at a certain point. Get the backstory of his mother in his own way, because he was only really given stuff from his father's perspective, and even still wasn't able to spend as much time with his father. So his bond is definitely going to help shed light on some of his past, as well as what his future could potentially bring. Um, just from that side of the aspect.
Awesome.
Nice. Awesome. Cool. So we've got a gnome. We've got an eccentric gnome. We've got a shadowy kitsune, and we've got a bumpkin half elf. This is gonna be a blast. Alan, like from Jurassic Park. All right, we're naming our purple dragon friend. I don't know if you guys are watching the stream, but he throws up chat bubbles for when people follow. He dances. When you throw out my nat 20
Thank you.
emoji for subscribing, he does his fire breath and says "rar." When you throw out my nat 1 emoji, he cries. He's our little mascot guy.
That's
Rawr.
awesome.
I appreciate the level of excitement that you have for
He's
our
so
mascot.
cute. So cute. We're doing a Dragon Rider campaign. I had to get a little dragon buddy for us.
No, I
If you don't
fully
have a
fully support
dragon
that.
in your dragon campaign, you're not doing it right.
I agree. Okay, cool. So we went over that. Let's briefly go over setting and tone. So, we've talked a little bit about it. Glow paint.
Hmm.
This is going to be a pretty like lighthearted hero adventure kind of campaign that's going to be punctuated with intensity and maybe some emotional moments. I would love to like delight you guys, terrify you guys, maybe make you mad at some point, maybe make you sad at some point. But for the most part, I want us to just have a really fun time. I kind of have already given you a rundown of the world, so I'm gonna grease over that for right now.
For
But
sure.
I did figure out the Giants' kingdom. It's gonna be Edmundir, and it's the capital of trade, and the mercantile are the highest class there. The giants in this world are called the I'm saying, right? They're called the Anak, and they're gentle giants. They prefer diplomacy among all else. When they make a pact with the lesser races, because the giants are similar to the dragons, they produce the Anakim, which, the dragon riders are going to be called the Dravnir, colloquially known as Sky Chasers. That's up for debate.
Sounds dope.
The packs are called Drashnagir, and that's just kind of you're bonding your life force with another being, and you end up sharing certain traits with each other.
Sorry. The packs are called. Oh no, you're talking about the Giants. Okay, I thought you were for a second talking about the Dragon Riders, and I was like, oh, another name. Never mind. Ignore my dumbass.
Yeah, I think I'll probably have that just as the packs all together. Zyroth. Oh, that's a neat fantasy name. That's up there. That's one of the best I heard. That's up there with Alan. That's competing with Alan right now.
Honestly, I
Very,
really
very
really
close.
like Bob as the name. That I
Bob?
know that's not getting enough
For
attention,
Bob?
but like I think I mean as someone that is a very good namer myself, I think Bob is perfect.
You're a terrible namer. We'll put Bob on the poll. We'll have to do a poll. Let's see. The Lower Kingdom Shadhavar is known for producing incredible warriors. They're culturally kind of a fusion of Egyptian and Arabian. Selendir, the Northern Kingdom, is like the epitome of philosophy and beautiful architecture and education and very wealthy, lots of high magic. But again, we've kind of gone all over those things, so I'm just greasing through it. Moving on to something that we went over already too, that's really important, is where our comfortability levels stand. Zoro. Ooh, Zoro's not bad. I like that too. We're gonna have to do a poll. So for comfortability, these are kind of like what is taboo at the table and how we're going to handle this. I would like each player to have a note card or a piece of paper with a black dot on it. And when we touch on something that makes you uncomfortable, you can hold it up to your camera, and that is going to be my sign to kind of skim right over it and move on. And we can come back at the end of the session and talk about it. The things that I am not comfortable going over, and I'll touch on a couple of things they mentioned. I will not describe or include sexual assault. I will not describe or include child abuse. I will not describe or include sexual scenes. I will not describe or include really intense gore. What else, guys? Did we go through here?
Abuse.
Abuse in general.
Yeah, abuse, either spousal,
Drugs.
substance,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
stuff like that.
No, yeah,
I
I'm
may
trying.
allude to these things
Yeah,
if it lends
Okay.
itself to the story or is necessary, but I will never describe them. Is there anything else that you would like to add to those? And if I missed anything, other DMs, I should probably write all of
other
it down.
players for your information.
Yeah, we players now.
Oh, my
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
My bad. Players,
Yeah. Read the room.
right?
Thank you.
Right?
I mean, in terms of me, I would say I'm good with everything that you said. I don't think that there's anything that would cross my path especially based off of what you have already talked about. So I think that should be perfectly fine with
Awesome.
what you've
And
already
if
got
it
said.
ever does, we've got your safety card, your
Yeah,
safety word.
I love the idea.
Awesome.
I like it.
What else did we go over, guys?
Backstories. We started talking about homebrew rules. We started talking about scheduling too, when we're planning on starting, how consistent we're gonna be doing the
Yeah,
streams.
let's lay into him think about scheduling real quick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so 8:30 we'll jump into just chatting. We'll probably have a hard start time at 9. That's our time, so that's going to be kind of late for you, bud.
I'll plan the nap time to not interfere in the
just
future.
just get a better alarm. That's all I'll say. Get
Yeah,
the
yeah,
most
for
annoying
sure.
thing you can hope for.
Alexa's on the back burner. She fucking up.
Oh shit. Um,
Put her in timeout.
we'll probably
I'll unplug her for a little bit.
There you go. We'll probably do 3-on-1-off until Firestone gets his campaign going, and then we'll do every other week. The sessions will run no more than 3 hours, and I'm hoping this campaign lasts for a year or more. It could end
Yeah, man.
if you guys all get killed. Obviously that's going to be a premature end, but very, very possible. And
As long as it's awesome.
Yeah, as long as it's awesome.
If either of you two die, I will commemorate you within my art. Don't worry.
Yeah, I also like to play Death Roulette. So if you guys do die, I'll probably bring in other players. If like one person's left alive, we'll bring in some other players, and they'll be fledgling dragon riders or something. That's depending. That's depending on how everything
Just
goes
know
down.
that you will be replaced if you die.
Yeah, exactly. I'm attached to you as players, but only so much.
Only while your character lives.
Pretty much. That's jokes. That's jokes, but not really. Yeah. Any of those going to be issues with you?
No, I don't believe so at all. Like I said, this should be a one-time, one-off issue of scheduling conflict. But
it happens, man. You immediately got back to us. You immediately apologized.
Yep.
You immediately jumped in.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul, brother. If it happens
Appreciate it.
again and again and again and again, then we'll have a sit down and we'll go from there. But
understandable.
Don't worry too much about it, man. It's all good.
Oh, we did also talk. I mean, so the lovely thing here is that we have 3 DMs that are playing this right now, and so we've all dealt with scheduling issues. That's part of life when it comes to A, life, and B, trying to play D&D. We talked about if whenever because I'm sure at some point I won't be able to do a Friday because for work or whatever reason, or Sev has family, or like everyone has things. Yeah.
I'm moving into a place.
Yeah. Right. Things are happening. So whenever something's going on, if you do, let us know. I'll like all that shit just because then we can either plan to do a one shot or it kind of helps with that consistency.
So I'm very firm on the fact that I want all 3 of you to be there if I'm going to run a campaign. If someone can't make it, we're probably going to call it off and run a one shot. That being said, if you tell me a week ahead of time and we can work in your character being off screen, doing something, or if you want to like throw that out there, potentially, if it works with the story, we'll do another one. I picked 3 players for a reason. I like 3 players, but that also means that you are all super integral to the story and super integral to the experience. So yeah, I think that's a good recap on all of that. Sound cool, brother?
Yeah, I'm down. That sounds good to me.
Awesome. All right, what else did we go over, guys? I think that's.
I mean, we were going over homebrew rules too. So I feel like that's something that
really
with
important.
all the details,
Especially
it is super important.
Especially for Glowpaint because he's a newer player.
Yeah.
Glowpaint. So I gave you the Sev's brew to have a peek at. I don't know how much you dipped into that. The things that I won't budge on are the perk points rule, the luck points rule, the time turns. Those are just things that I do no matter what. I don't allow the lucky feat or counter spell in my games.
Neither of those should be a problem for you as a Kitsune rogue. Don't worry.
Yeah, you're on the right track there.
We were gonna run my travel system, which I think is personally superior by far to the vanilla one. My DMs would agree.
Are you talking about your rest system? Because we didn't talk about.
I'm sorry, no, not my travel system. My exhaustion system.
Yes, your exhaustion system and your rest system. Yeah.
Your travel system is trash.
So
yeah, fuck your travel system.
Yeah, it's super crunchy. We're not gonna do that right now. That's for other shit. That's for when you don't have dragons. But yeah, I'll let you look over the exhaustion and the rest stuff. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have any gripes, let me know. We're gonna run dangerous casting. So if you cast a spell, you've got to roll a d20, and if it's a 1 through 5, that spell will go awry. Effects are left to the DM's discretion. Cool with that?
That sounds pretty exciting.
Sweet.
It's
Spell duels, so you can literally, like, if someone's casting a spell, you can cast a spell to, like, lock beams with them and see who the stronger caster is. There's some mechanics to it, but does that sound like something that's cool with you?
That sounds pretty dope.
All right,
That's like
awesome.
in Harry Potter, like
Ex-
one's meeting to
exactly.
or
Hell yeah.
or Dragon Ball Z. Come on, Kamehameha.
Okay,
Galaga.
fair enough,
Same
fair
thing
enough.
though.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
again, I can't believe you chose Dragon Ball over One Piece, but that's the whole other thing.
I mean, I was watching Dragon Ball
Mhm.
before One Piece was a twinkle in Homeboy's eye, so you can just. I think you're 20. You're 24.
I'm 24.
I think I watched Dragon Ball before you were born.
That's probable. Yeah.
You were 97?
96 actually.
96? Yeah, I think I was about 6 or 7, right around there. So you were just a wee tyke. So don't come at me with that.
Oh, I will. No, I still will, because I've
take
also
your
seen Dragon
fruit.
Ball.
You take your gum fruit and you shove it. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think you need to knock that shit. But anyway, okay. Anyway, moving on.
I don't have a problem with it, but we'll move on. Sentinel feet made sensible. I don't know if you plan on taking the Sentinel feet. I think it's
As a
kind of
rogue,
broken.
absolutely. Don't let anybody get away from you.
That's fair. That's fair.
Let them hit you with all your tiny health.
Basically, we just adjust it so that if the creature's bigger than you, you're not going to be able to completely stop them. Vanilla Sentinel feet, a warrior could go up to an ancient dragon and whack them, and that dragon can't move anymore.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
It was a little
If you guys
dumb.
want me to make your lives hell, sure, because I put stuff like Sentinel and other feats on my creatures when I make them. So the way it works is if the creature's larger, it just reduces their movement by 15 feet.
Yeah.
If they're your size, it's half. If they're smaller than you, it'll reduce their movement fully. Sound good to you?
I did see about the first or second page of that, and I saw that, and I thought that made a lot of sense. Just in the uses I've seen of it, I think that's way more logical.
Tight. Fall damage for realish. It sounds kind of crunchy when you first read it, or it sounds kind of weird when you first read it, but I've done the number crunches, I've run it and used it. Basically, when you're falling, it deals the same damage as always. But if you take a fall that exceeds your Constitution score, you instantly get knocked to 0 hit points and start rolling death saves. If you take damage that exceeds twice your Constitution score, you'll die instantly. That being said, if you've got like a 10 or 12, you're going to have to be falling like 60 to 80 feet to die instantly.
Right.
You've also got a dragon who can save you. You've also have a wizard who's definitely going to take Featherfall. Sound cool with you?
I'll just flap my wings super hard. That'll be great. Yeah, it sounds good.
Awesome. Interaction during a player's turn, they can use an interaction to perform a skill check for free. This promotes interaction with the environment. That being said, like hiding and stuff like that will probably cost you whatever it costs you as a. I think it's as a rogue, you get it as a bonus action.
Right.
So like stealthing, maybe not, but if you're trying to like nature check something about a creature, if you're trying to investigate something, if you're trying to climb or jump something, that's not going to cost you an action or a bonus action. You can just do that.
I saw that as well, and I thought that was super dope because it's like it's sometimes I feel like it restricts you and it draws out the combat if it's just like a quick thing or I don't know something that you could actually do in the moment. I think that's pretty good.
Barry, my mic's echoing because Firestone's in the room with me. Oh, thank you, Firestone. Silent Wolf, you did. I've heard great things about One Piece. I just won't watch it because it's like 1,000+ episodes. And Dragon Ball, if you're gonna watch any Dragon Ball Z, Super, whatever, go watch the OG Dragon Ball. It's on Hulu. It's amazing.
Dragon Ball is really good, as is Dragon Ball Z. Those are the two that you should see.
Dragon Ball Z is it.
I'll give credit to where credit's due, but after that, it's just
Z. For Z, the Saiyan Saga is really good. Maybe watch Kai.
The Cell Saga was like my favorite.
Yeah, the Cell Saga I was a big fan. Let's not tangent. I could go on too hard.
I liked when they had the dragons and the balls.
You know what? You know what's canon for me is Dragon Ball Abridged. If you want to save yourself a whole lot of time, just go on YouTube, watch Dragon Ball Abridged. It sums up everything really nicely. And that's where we were, and we are still going through the homebrew stuff. Healing potions. Healing potions deliver max healing and can be used as a bonus action. I'm a big fan of that.
It's like a double stacking bonus, which again I will not say no to. That's pretty sweet.
I just don't like the efficacy of a healing potion. Like, you're not gonna buy it if it might heal you 1 point or might do what it's like advertised
Yeah.
to do. And why can't you pop a healing potion and drink it? Like, without
I've
using
seen
a
a
full
lot of people
action.
use. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people use the bonus action thing, but it's dope that you get the full amount from the healing potion. It makes it feel much more worthwhile to use and or to spend the kind of money that people be charging for potions.
DMs, players. Nah, I gotta stop calling you guys that.
Yeah.
Chaos and Firestone. You guys down with that?
Totally.
I have no issue with that.
Tight.
Yeah, with all the disadvantages that we're having, we need some help too. You know.
Yeah, we chose no resurrection, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they
Well, yeah,
chose
we're not
no
we're not doing
resurrection.
resurrections, and we're not doing durability or sunder.
Yeah.
So just nothing too meticulous that we have to worry about because, yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna kind of wrap these all up really quick. So advantage stacking. Every additional advantage gained, add +2 to the roll. Every additional disadvantage, -2 from the roll. I really like this because I don't think you get rewarded enough for doing combos and doing multiple things that might give you extra advantage.
That's interesting.
I don't have an issue with that.
Any questions there, Glow Paint?
No, I mean the amount of effects you can have at the same time that just cancel each other out are kind of boring in my opinion, because then it doesn't make sense to do the
Yeah,
combos or set things up for multiple turns when you might just have an extra on this turn type of thing. I think that adds to the overall playability of options that you have. I think that's nice.
excellent. Oh, I forgot to mention we're doing tandem turns as well.
I saw that one in the sheet. I got to that point, which is also super dope. I like the idea of being able to combine two people's abilities, or like, if you're doing something, if I could feed off of it or add to their spell or their action. I think that's also, again, super dope.
And that lends itself to advantage stacking, really. And these are things that I'll remind you guys of. Firestone's played in this system before. It'll take a little while to get adjusted, but I'll do my best to remind you guys about this constantly. High ground's big for me because being above an enemy is such a huge tactical advantage IRL. I just see it being really, really useful. I
So
low key love GT2, Barry. Sorry.
This is my question. As a shorter than normal individual, if I'm 5 feet above, are we still counting that as high ground, or is that like I'm at the same height as someone now?
You have to be 5 feet above them.
Okay.
So
That'll be the same no matter what.
Exactly.
How tall you are.
I know.
Yeah.
I would.
Oh, I know what you mean. I get it now.
If you're 5 feet and your knees are knocking them in the face, then no, you're not gonna get advantage.
All right.
All right. I see. Yeah. Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a good time with the stream here. Let's continue on. So, high ground is in. Yes, you guys are dragon riders. I know you want high ground.
Yeah.
That'll be dope, especially for mid to late game.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Flanking. Add
I-
+1 hit for each attacker. Add +5 to hit if fully surrounded. Must be at least a 45-degree angle for flanking with 2 people. In Foundry, it's super easy to know when you are or are not flanking. You guys down with that?
Sorry,
I don't-
you mean the rule where you have to have multiple people to flank, right?
You have to have at least 2 people in melee combat to gain. They each would gain a +1. If you have 3 people in melee combat surrounding them, they would each gain a +2.
I have a question, and this is not exactly related, but we do have dragons, which means they're an ally.
Abso-fucking-lutely, bud.
The other thing is, I've noticed, or I've seen this played before, where people who have familiars or dragons could use that dragon to take the help action and give them advantage on an attack. Are you allowing that, or does that seem like bullshit to you?
I'm sorry, run that by me one more time?
So you have an ally within 5 feet of an enemy. Use the help action to give advantage to you on your attack, and then you attack them.
So, I do not allow help action on attacks.
Awesome.
We need to go over my help action thing as well, but really quick, I have a question from DJ Dave. DJ Dave, my man, I would not do that because that could lead to some really broken stuff where people would become immune. I have some issues with with resistances in general. I like to make it so it's like similar to the heavy armor feat, where like you would negate a few points of damage. So and you'd get levels. I haven't run this fully, and I'm not gonna. I don't know if I'll run it in this because I need to work out the mechanic a little more. But I really like the idea of it, and I've seen other people use it. But basically, shout out to Dungeon Coach for coming up with it. Basically, you'd have like level 1 fire resistance, and that would negate 5 points of fire damage anytime you take fire damage. And then if you wanted to increase it, you could go to level 2. That would negate 10 points of fire damage. Because with like and it would increase so on and so forth. Level 3, 15, level 4, 20. You'd still get that bonus. With stacking resistance that way, someone has resistance to fire and gets an item that makes them resistance to fire. With those two things, they're immune to a dragon's breath right now. That doesn't make sense to me. That is something that I will put a pin in, and we can definitely do. I'd love to do like some homebrew rule discussion and things like that. But I like things to make sense, and I like things to feel good. And I try not to break the world. I try to make it. I don't want to say realistic because we're in a fantasy world, but as realistic as possible.
That. Yeah, yeah.
That's something we can address as we play and later on. I don't have it in my Sev's brew homebrew because most of my players aren't getting resistance and stuff in the original Elta'Grad, but definitely something to think about. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate you. Okay. Back to the rules here. Let's go over my help action since you brought that up. My help action is not something you can use in combat to assist someone in an attack. You have your advantage stacking, you have your flanking, you have tandem turns. There's a lot of other stuff you can do rather than just being like, yeah, I help them. My help action, if you are within 5 feet of a creature, you can use help as a bonus action, an action, or a reaction that allows you to roll a d6 and add it to the target's roll. A d8 if you're proficient with that skill, and a d12 if you have expertise in that skill. That being said, in combat with someone attacking someone, I might let you roll a d6 if you describe really well what you're doing, and that would be like a tandem turn type deal. Does that make sense?
I dig it.
Yeah,
I like that there's levels of it too. So if it's not playing into your benefit, you can still do it as like a Hail Mary, but you're not going to have the same effect on it if like you're doing something that you'd be proficient in, which is dope.
Absolutely. And I think of it more as something that's like used outside. Something that is, a player's trying to knock down a door. All right, roll me an athletics check. Hey, can I help? You proficient in athletics? Sure. Add a D8. You're not? You can roll a D6 to us. Because they're helping, right? They're trying it. And
Right.
maybe they roll a 1 and they're not very helpful. Maybe they roll a 6 and they're super helpful. Either way, they're not rolling at advantage. They're not giving themselves a huge boost for just being like, yeah, I help.
I'm definitely asking the gnome for help on every single strength check.
We have dragons. Just push down the door.
Please don't.
As my current strength is sitting at 8, so you know how that's gonna go.
My strength is also sitting at 8. I don't think I am the man to call upon for assistance in labor tasks.
You're gonna have to push down every single door then, huh?
I need to take
We're looking at you, bud.
seconds,
We're
guys.
looking at you.
All right, for sure.
Okay, my intelligence is the one that's an 8, so.
Yeah, no. I got the intelligence. I got a little bit of charisma. Like I can help with that. Just don't ask me to lift anything or move fast or
Unless
really
you wanna
anything that's
laugh.
physical. Yeah, if you want some comedy.
Struggle.
I'm like real okay at a lot of things, but like obviously dexterity is where I'm at. But if you're looking for anything kind of physical, then you're looking at the wrong fox.
Yeah, I have the feeling that we're going to be relying a lot on Ty, which is Firestone's character. We're going to be relying a lot on Ty to do a lot of any sort of
I'm start
physical
juicing up my
tasks.
dragon. Come on, bud. You need to like pick up for my weaknesses here. Come on.
Strong boy dragon. All right, so were we down with flanking?
Yeah. That's totally fine.
Damn, we're pulling in a lot of Sev's brew here. I like it. Not gonna lie.
I mean, we're in Elta'Grad. We might as well.
On your feet, standing costs 10 feet of movement if wearing light armor, 15 if you're wearing medium, and 20 if you're wearing heavy. Reduced to 0 if an ally uses help. disengage is a bonus action.
My question is,
That's a whole different
what
one.
if you're
Probably not
wearing
gonna
no
remember.
armor? Oh, okay, never mind then.
If you're wearing no armor, probably 5 feet.
Why would I be encumbered by my cloth robes? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I'd just say maybe 5 feet
They're
to
just
stand
so
up.
long that you kind of trip over them as you get up.
That's fair. That's fair. The length. That's the issue for me.
Because mages just love the length of that cloak. They want
That's
to
true.
drag.
That's true. That's true.
They love that little like foot billow where it like builds up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I don't have issue with including this. The only thing that I would be concerned is at a certain point, if we're including a lot of these little things, it's gonna it's gonna make a lot of different things to be considering, which is not bad. But like again, I feel like with this campaign, we don't want it too cumbersome.
So
while
that's an easy one to skim over and just say screw it, vanilla rules.
yeah, that's what I would do personally.
Yeah, I like bonus action disengage, but it does also kind of hurt.
Oh, that
rogue
was a
stuff.
separate rule I accidentally read
Oh.
out that I'm probably gonna say no on this one.
Okay. Well then, let's say no to that one.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm gonna be in heavy armor anyway.
And how about the on your feet? We'll just skip that altogether. Cool.
Yeah.
Injury checks, I personally would like to skip.
Yeah, I don't think we should do those.
It's really crunchy.
Okay.
If you guys get downed, I might give you a lingering injury. Are you cool with that?
I would be cool with that if there was a role for that.
Yeah. So if you get downed, you'll I'll have you make a roll.
Okay.
But
I would.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a maybe. I'm not 100% sure I'd include it. I just want to see if you guys are all okay with that. I'm not even gonna put it on the rules.
I would be okay with that as a possibility.
All right.
Agreed.
This is one that I stand by really firmly, and I have integrated into Elta'Grad into the Foundry system already. Dangerous critical hits. Critical damage dice from weapons deal maximum damage. That means that the second dice is going to just be maxed out. So you'll roll your regular hit, like so. Say you're using a longsword, you're going to your critical damage die is going to be an 8, and then you roll your other d8.
Yeah, I love that.
Because when you roll a crit and you roll 2 1s, boy, does that feel bad.
Yep.
I critically stubbed my toe on his armor and now took these 2 extra points of damage.
Exactly. So we're all down with that then, yeah?
Yep, that sounds cool.
Great.
That makes it feel more worthwhile when you actually roll it. It doesn't feel like crap when you obviously hit them once.
Absolutely. I'm going to skip targeted strikes since we're not doing injury checks.
Fair.
Desperate attack. I'm a big fan of this one. You guys tell me if it's something you want. Call out desperate attack, roll at advantage. If it hits, it's an automatic critical. The attacker gains a stack of exhaustion.
I don't have issue with this. Is there also my question is that do we also have desperate spells?
If your spell is a roll to hit, I would say yes.
Didn't you say you had a different exhaustion system anyway? And it's different than vanilla?
It is.
Yeah, his exhaustion system is
Page 4.
Yeah,
so I'm sorry.
Shoot.
I have a question that refers back to our crits. If let's say our dear wizard decides to cast a cantrip and he's a higher level now, so it's a couple of dice, like 2d10, and he crits.
Critical damage dice from weapons deal maximum damage.
Okay. Cool.
Because you rolling a fireball, bro.
I mean, yeah.
That's a lot of dice you're rolling already. So no, I would not have that with the spellcasters. I thought that was a fuck you, pretty much.
Yeah, no, it's it wasn't so much as I want this. It was more of like a curiosity question.
No, for sure. Yeah, the critical damage dice is the dangerous criticals is just from weapon attacks. Spells will not get that bonus because spells are already pretty powerful, especially if they crit. That being said, if someone rolls a nat 1 dexterity save, I consider that a crit.
Okay.
So, because I don't know if there's vanilla. Is there a way to crit with a fireball?
No.
Yeah, so there's a way to crit with a fireball. If you roll a nat 1, you get a critical hit with that fireball.
Okay. I mean,
if they roll a nat 1 as a dexterity check. So I do allow critical hits, but those dice will not be maxed out.
Okay.
All right.
Can you imagine a maxed out fireball crit? Oh gosh.
I would love that.
Incinerate
That's
everything.
Scary.
All right. Desperate attack. You down with that?
Yeah, I don't have issue with that.
Could you go over your exhaustion?
Absolutely. Are you looking
setup?
at the chart?
You said that was page
Page 4. Page
Page
4.
four, yeah.
It's right under travel exhaustion, rest exhaustion, all that jazz.
So anytime a player would take a stack of exhaustion, they roll a con save DC 15 to avoid suffering that stack of exhaustion. For each level of exhaustion, you get -1 to your rolls and -5 to your movement. So that stacks all the way up to -5 to your rolls and -25 feet of movement. And then you get at level 2, you get no reaction. At level 3, you get only 1 action or bonus action. At level 4, you cannot concentrate on spells and your maximum HP is reduced. And at level 5, you can only make 1 attack and advantage on attacks against you. Level 6, you go unconscious and start rolling death saves instead of instant death.
It's definitely less of a debilitating system than I think vanilla is, just because it doesn't mess up a lot of your stuff until you get more towards the end of the exhaustion, which I like.
Absolutely. It is something because exhaustion is more prevalent in Elta'Grad. I wanted to rework the system punishing, but to still carry a lot of weight.
Disadvantage on all ability checks at the first level exhaustion is the absolute worst.
Fucking stupid.
I agreed. That doesn't make sense.
Pardon my don't pardon my French. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
And if you're running a campaign where exhaustion matters, it just destroys your players. Like they just don't want to do anything. All right.
I agree.
Where were we? Injury check. Desperate attack, we're good with. And that's really up to you guys if you want to use it. I might use it for an enemy if they're in a really desperate situation. So where? Death saves and wounded. I'm going to stick with the wounded effect if you guys are cool with that, and I'm gonna stick with you. Take a stack of exhaustion. The other stuff in there I have where like nat 20s allow you to come back to
Stuff and
30%
whatnot.
health. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna fuck with any of that, but I really like the fact that if you go down and you roll 2 failed death saves and you get back up, you're gonna keep those death saves and get a stack of exhaustion. No more rubber banding, more bumping back. How do you guys feel about that?
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
I think if it's more of a narrative play than like the video game aspect of falling down and getting back up and being completely fine.
Yeah, it takes it takes a little bit of the gaminess out of it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Chaos is fine with it. Glow paint, you're fine with it. Firestone.
I'm sorry, I missed a little bit of that. Are we doing where your death saves stick?
We're discussing it right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yes, I would like to keep it whether your death saves stick and where you gain a stack of exhaustion when you get up. I'm removing the injury check because we're not doing injury checks, and I'm removing all the percentage stuff I had in there.
Want to confirm something? Sorry, Firestone. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just gonna say that I'm not a huge fan of the death save sticking, just because between the three of us we don't have a whole lot of ways to heal. If somebody does go down all the way down, and there's no reviving, but if we want to make it more difficult,
Potions
and
are
death save
for?
stick, we totally can. Oh yeah, we can get potions. Sorry.
Yeah, and potions are full heal. No, that's actually the only reason why I would be okay with this too. So but I do feel you on that because you're right. We don't have a healer in this party. My question is that because it's saying about you keep failed saves until full rest. Could we change that to short rest for the 6 hour?
I would do the 6 hour rest.
Okay, then I would be okay with it because if we have to do the full like 24-hour rest and I'm like just lugging around for like a week. Yeah.
That was for the brutality of age 3 Elta'Grad. You guys are in an easier era.
Cool. Yeah, no, that would be fine by me then.
So as it stands, it's wounded effect, keep failed saves until a rest, and take 1 stack of exhaustion if you get back up.
Yes.
I know Firestone's kind of on the fence about it. We can have a vote.
It's fine with the healing potions.
Yeah.
As long as we have access to said healing potions.
I feel like
I'm also gonna say that I will probably have some mechanics with your dragons and
Yeah.
the lifelink stuff.
Yeah, I feel like
help from them to
from
get
my understanding of like how much of a commerce mercantile world that this is with trade, it's very likely there are like supplies aplenty and if we ever go into a major city. That's my understanding of
are
this.
in like a big Dragon Raiders guild thing.
Yeah, like they're not gonna just be like, okay, we're gonna kick you out. We're not gonna give you any fucking supplies. Like, good fucking luck. Although, said
We're
if
gonna
you
let these
fucking do
guys
that
with
now,
fucking dragons die. Just not prepare them at all for anything.
yeah.
Good luck,
Like
riders.
these are the last 3 that we're gonna be doing, but fuck you guys otherwise.
Potions will be readily available. This is in Elta'Grad's high magic period, and heavy mercantile. You guys will have no problem getting access to potions. What up, Chris is me, bro. Welcome. I'm doing great. Getting into this session 0 with my boys. We are gonna wrap it up in about 15 minutes. So we'll pick up the pace just a little bit. I think we're pretty on track for the most part. Where are we? I just said we were on track. Spell saves. So yeah, I was a natural 1 save is a critical hit / fail, and a natural 20 save is a complete miss. Dangerous criticals rule does not apply.
Okay.
I had already worked that out in there. Sound good, guys?
Yep.
Sounds good.
As a no magic person, yes, 100%.
I like that the mage was like, yeah, that sounds good.
Yep. Oh, I'm resigning myself to this fact that this is my life, and I'm okay with that.
Hey, you'll be able to mess someone up. Oh, we got who? Yeah. Hey, thanks for the follow, brother. I appreciate you. Shucks and darn. How do I? Bleeding condition. Bleeding creatures. Oh snap, DJ Dave. Appreciate you, man. Bleeding creatures take 1d6 of damage at the end of their turn. Medicine text DC 15 ends this condition. Any healing, 1 point of healing will end this condition as well. It's something that I think we can leave out because it's kind of crunchy, but it's one of those like punish you kind of things. I might have it be an effect on a creature at some point in time, but probably not a common thing. It was something I used with the injury checks, so we can definitely ixnay on that.
If it were like an enemy that caused it and it wasn't like a super common enemy or something, as long as we're not fearing for that like every single encounter, I think that would be fine to spice in there a little bit. But
yeah, it's a bit much when it's everything. So if you
right.
guys are cool with that, I'll probably have it as maybe it's a specialty on some kind of enemy.
Sounds fun.
Chaos.
Yeah, I'm super down with that.
All right. This one I'm pretty steadfast on. Health status. Do not announce your hit points. Role play and use variations of the following. If you're 75%, you're bruised, you're scratched, a little banged up. 50%, you're bloody, you're damaged. 25%, you're well bloodied, you're badly injured. 10% or lower, you're on death's door or done for. You can use variations to your heart's content.
Yeah.
How do we feel about that?
I mean, my health pool is large, so I'm into it.
I'm down with it. I think it adds more immersion, and it's
yeah. No, I love it as an immersive thing.
Definitely, and we won't be saying like, I'm 55 out of 69 if I had to put it on a scale.
Yeah, no, none of that. Like, I'm feeling a little banged up, or like, no, now I'm bleeding, or like, I could use some rest, or like, I might not be able. Yeah, that type of thing.
I'm a half a case deep of cores on a Tuesday afternoon, meaning I'm pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
If that's not somehow wrapped into your character arc, I'll be sad.
Firestone, you need to get with homeboy.
I gotta take some lessons.
That was Ty. I love it. Okay, this one I really like, especially because I allow you guys to do a lot of stuff. Opportunity knocks. Opportunity attacks can be made if you are standing up, drinking a potion, interacting, using an item, looting bodies, helping a comrade, casting a spell, rolling a nat 1 on an attack, or anything else that may leave an opponent open for attack. I don't use it every time. But if I see that you're standing right in front of a monster and you're like, pop this health potion, that monster might use its reaction to take an opportunity attack on you. Does that make sense to you guys? How do we feel about it?
Oh, yeah. Makes total sense. I basically, what I'm gathering from this is that I'm going to be playing like a giant bitch. Like, my character's not going to want to be around anyone in the slightest.
I'm gonna put my shield on my back and we'll create like a little papoose for you.
Perfect.
Right there.
Yeah, if I can like just jump on there and just like be painting shit while you're like banging on people, that would make me happy.
Yeah.
I'm not coming out of stealth. I'm gonna be up in that tree. Y'all will like never even see me. I'll be an illusion of your mind.
Look at all those arrows coming out of that tree. That must be an arrow tree.
He's angry. That being said, I'm fairly like lenient on it. Like, if you're casting a firebolt in someone's face, they're probably not going to be able to stop that and hit you. But if like someone's right next to you and you like go to put sleep or do a different spell on someone else that's in the distance, then they might see an opportunity to attack. You understand? Like, I make it very sensible as far as how I use it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
All right. Forced movement invokes opportunity attacks as part of that. Flanked creatures may not make an opportunity attack.
Because then it would be then giving their self an opportunity attack, basically, if they're surrounded by others, right?
Correct.
Kind of the idea. Yeah, that makes sense.
This sounds like it might be a little chunky, but while being used in combat, I found that we've had great success and it's really smooth.
The other thing is we can definitely like add all this stuff, and if it is too chunky for the stream, we can always pull something out.
Absolutely.
Rather than
Everything's
trying to
everything's
push
up for
stuff back
debate.
in.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
How do we feel about this one? Opportunity knocks.
I like it. I really like it.
I think as long as it's not like, again, the injury thing where you're fearing it every single turn, or if you're fearing every single thing that you do is like, oh man, this might give me an opportunity attack. Like, if it's never crossing that line, I think it would be perfectly fine.
I do want to confirm that we're playing opportunity attacks have to be made within like that 5 or 10 foot radius, right? Like, you have to be close by. You're not doing ranged opportunity attacks.
No ranged opportunity attacks. No.
All right. As long as that's not in play, I'm happy.
No ranged opportunity attacks. This mostly comes in play if you pull a dumbass move and you've got a bunch of enemies around you and you try to do some dipshit stuff. Really.
Yep.
I like tactical combat and I like combat to make sense. And I will put forth several tactical Robo, you just no exclamation. Dance. Sorry, had to throw that in. My moderator, my number one moderator, Robo's here. Yeah, so just be careful. That's all I can say. Is Elta'Grad. This Elta'Grad is going to be a lot easier than Age 3 Elta'Grad, but it's still Elta'Grad, and it's still like most combat encounters are going to be difficult. And you guys are going to have dragons too. So that'll make it a little easier, but it's still going to be difficult combat encounters. Firestone knows from experience how I play my combat encounter. It's probably not going to be that brutal, where you are dying every battle and having to roll death saves.
I wasn't dying every battle or
well, not you specifically. We won't name any names. Robo,
poor Robo.
the tank. But yeah.
Every single fight, it was rough.
Run. I don't think I'm gonna have run in this, but escape action I created. Use your action to attempt to escape. Describe what you're doing so the DM can assign an appropriate check. On success, you must use disengage, and you may move triple your max movement in battle. I don't think it's necessary in this one.
Yeah, I don't really want to calculate Dragon's flying speed with that.
Oh shit! Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Fair enough.
Cool. Skip it.
Yeah.
Yep.
We already went over.
Covers almost everything.
Yeah. I mean, we could go into the nitty gritty about. Yeah, no, I think that's it. Yep.
Terrain and travel, I'm gonna run way simpler. I mean, terrain will still be important. Terrain's always important. Weather's gonna be important. Travel, I'm not gonna do like this. We'll do travel pretty easily, simply. Foraging and crafting stuff, I'm gonna make way simpler. If you guys want to get into that kind of stuff, it'll be available, but I'm gonna streamline it. If you go all the way down to the bottom on page 6 through 8, all of that stuff is in play. And I don't think I need to broker any debate here. It's all stuff that's going to give martial players more options and
Sorry, we're also ignoring the material types because we're not doing a crafting system, correct?
correct. All the
All
material
right, just
stuff
wanted.
and material types are
Sure.
skipped over. Get tactics. Dance. You got to just write dance without the exclamation point. Robo. That's how you get it to dance.
Come on, just dance.
What's the move? My dragon dances. It's so cute. I love him. We'll get a name at the end here too. Okay, we're coming up on the end of this, so we need to wrap her up. You guys are cool with all that. It just gives you a bunch of different fighting styles. I will allow you to take those fighting styles with perk points that I give you. It gives you some extra perks if you're using weapons. I will allow you to use perk points to purchase those if you want. Perk points are going to be a much rarer thing than they would be in Elta'Grad, so you probably won't do many of these and stack to be powerfully. The mounted perks, you guys are going to be riding dragons. That might be something we want to run. Balanced rider, gain advantage on checks to stay on your dragon. Expert handler, gain advantage on checks to calm your. Those are worthy investments. I think that's something that you could definitely lean into and use. Ignore my atrocious spelling, please.
No, I would agree. Actually, that I think mounted perks are good. I mean, all of these weapon perks are really tempting for me too, but I think the mounted perks are ideal.
Mhm.
All right. Is there anything else we need to discuss right now? Firestone's got to head out, and I've got to get to bed in the next hour.
Yeah, I think we're good. I mean, same time next Friday, first session. Confirming that.
Same time next Friday, first session. If we can, I would love for my players to get with me again throughout the week a little bit, which of course I'm sure you guys are. I'll bug you on Discord and we'll chat some.
That can make sense.
Aside from that, we'll just go around the room really quick. Firestone, is there anything else that you would like to address?
Nope. This is gonna be fun, and I just gotta make a character on D&D Beyond still, and voila.
I will happily hold your hand and walk you through that. It is so simple. And I'll import your characters, no problem, into Foundry. Chaos, anything?
I need to learn Foundry mechanics with you. So if you have the time to do a little quick teach session at some point in the next week, I would love that. But that's all I got.
Absolutely. I would actually, yes, I would like maybe an hour of your time and Glowpaint's time, because Firestone's pretty well acquainted with it. So
I
that
was
we
gonna say
can
I'd
do
be down for that for sure as well.
We'll do a mock battle and we'll do a little bit of playing around on there so that you guys can become well acquainted with the system. It's very intuitive and very simple. It does not take much.
I've gathered that based on like the research, but like I've never used it before, so I'm like, all right.
I think you guys will love it for like the ease of like note taking and character building and that kind of stuff. Honestly, I'll have to mess with the character importer so that it doesn't like overwrite stuff that I put in, but we'll work all of that. I'll work all those kinks out over the week. Glowpaint, anything else that you would like to touch on before we end?
Obviously, a huge portion of it is going to be the dragon and the bond and the connection and all that kind of stuff. I'm interested in hearing what we can, I guess, know or have as a base going into it, or is most of this stuff that we have to learn as we go, or only find out through experience with the dragons? Is there anything like it?
I can give you a little bit, but
Okay, that's
a
fair.
lot of it is going to be learned as you go in. The writers hold a lot of their secrets pretty closely, and we've
Okay.
discussed a lot of like what I can kind of give you and tell you, but yeah, Firestone. If you want,
I can hang for 10 more.
I'm you're a champion. He's in my living room right
I'm
now.
excited.
I know, I love it. So in Foundry, there is a resource tracker. You can track several resources on your character sheet. I will probably have a bond level or link level in there that will go up and down depending on your interactions with your dragon and things that happen with your dragon. Your dragon's personality and abilities will. We've already talked a little bit of some base stuff I'm going to give you guys, but those abilities and that bond will and their personality will form around what you do as a player. The first few sessions you're gonna have, you're gonna get your egg, and it's gonna be an egg for a while. And then depending on how you act and what you do during the trials, during while you have your egg, your dragon's gonna hatch, and they're gonna have their own little personality and be their own little person. And they'll be a reflection of you in ways, but also be their own individual. I'm gonna be having a lot of fun playing as your dragons, guys. You guys will have like a telepathic link with them that could eventually grow and bleed over to other riders. You guys will get increased stats, an extra proficiency, and a unique set of packed magic skills that go along with it. Things like if you're really aggressive, maybe your dragon will become more destructive. If you're really passive and try to heal people a lot, maybe your dragon will get a healing breath. These are things that, as a player, maybe think about a little bit. As a character, you're going to be surprised by. It's just going to feed into how you play.
My dragon just showed up.
Oh, what's up? Any other questions about the dragons that I might be able to tell you now?
What
No.
stories have you heard about them, if any?
The stories you've heard of the Dravir, Dravnir, yeah, the Dravenir. Long, long ago, the tyrants and the titans fell. The riders brought peace to the world. Now, basically, the lore is that they're the reason that the wars were ended and all of the humanoids were able to unify. They are arbitrators in the land. They are conflict resolutionists. They go about brokering diplomacy, ending conflicts before they start, or ending conflicts once they start, using their influence, their affluence, their wits, subterfuge, might, whatever tools they have at their disposal. The riders and dragons are just as varied as any other creatures in this world. There has been a time or two where there have been bad riders and they got wiped out by the rest of the riders. For the most part, they are considered goodly. They are considered protectors. They are hailed as heroes. They are looked up to by almost all races. They are completely inclusive. Every race has been a rider at some point or another. There's roughly 75 riders to 100 riders at any given time. The wild dragons of the world, they offer a quarter of their eggs. They only lay eggs once every 25 to 35 years, and they offer a quarter of their eggs laying in that period to the riders. They are quite powerful. In contrast, the giants are gentle and diplomatic. They handle brokering of trade deals. They protect trade routes. They have a case system, but they try not to fight at any cost. One giant will only sire a single giant child. Um, so they value their lives very highly, and they tend to be leaders and tacticians, sometimes vanguard units if they are in the fighting case, but more often than not, they are merchants, craftsmen, and yeah, traders. Uh, they will often call on the riders if there is going to be any type of really dangerous conflict and they have foreknowledge of it. Yeah, I think that covers most of it.
I dig it.
Awesome. All right. I think that's gonna set us up. My lovelies, thank you so much for joining us for this stream tonight. I will be in the after hours chat in our Discord. Feel free to join. Robo, if you could please throw that Discord invite up there, I would appreciate it greatly. A big thank you to Firestone, Chaos Feared, and Glowpaint, especially Glowpaint, for coming tonight.
Hey!
That's my bad.
Hey, buddy, it's all good. We're just happy you showed up. It made this 10 times better.
Yeah, my bad.
I look forward to
It is.
running this campaign, guys. Catch us next week for session 1. Much love, everyone, and have a wonderful night.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.